Get up in here. Yeah, we in here, man. Shine, arise, for the game has come. Yeah, get up in here, man. Hit that like button. Get up in here, man. You understand me? And greet one another. Share this video on every platform, for the game is here. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. We come to sit up there and come on one accord and exalt this game. Yeah, get in here, man. Yeah, get in here. I know you want me to talk about all that square shit and, the celebrities and, what I mean, Steph Curry's daddy, what I mean, cheating on his wife and all that old goofy shit. And I'll talk about all that shit later, man. But yeah, come up in here, man, so we can talk about this game. Yeah, let's get up in here, man, and talk about this game, man. Always remember that I'm going to always use all that outside shit to bring attention, you understand me, to this real shit called the game. So if you see me speaking on some celebrity shit, if you see me speaking on some so-called conscious shit, realize, man, that I'm always on game. Realize that. Don't ever be no soft-ass, suck-ass nigga. Game recognize game. Always realize what sin doing. You understand me? So when you see me speak on different topics, or I put my own, spin on it, or my own testimony involved when nobody was even thinking about me, understand that I'm sitting over there playing YouTube games so I can basically bring attention to the game. That's my main focus, man. Give a fuck about none of that shit. Give a fuck about how these squares think, you understand me, about this game. And when I'm saying square, I'm just talking about the people on the outside that's in different walks of life, saying, oh, he's this, he's that, and he's that, and he's this. I know how to use this and that and that and this to sit up there, you understand me, and bring attention to this game. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Bringing glory to the game. Yeah, man, hit that like button, man. Get up in here, man, so we can chop this shit up. Yeah, we need to sit up there, man, and talk about this game. Somebody needs to be fired up, on today. It's a beautiful thing when you get up doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Seeing why you feel like that. Because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm drinking my water. I'm eating my fruit. I'm working out. I'm sitting over there pimping accordingly. You know what I mean? I'm staying out the way, while still having my way. I'm doing what the fuck I'm supposed to do. It's a joy within that. You know what I mean? I know what it feels like when you doing something contrary. So it feel good when you on one accord with the game. You know what I mean? Marvin Gaye used to sing a song with Tammy Terrell back in the day, called It Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing. It ain't nothing like this game. It's the real thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, hit that like button, man. Yeah, somebody holiest right now. You know what I mean? Somebody feel like giving up right now. Somebody got a bitch that's just basically just caught on stupid. I know, P, it's stupid bitch season. Yeah, it's just floating around right now. Not for everybody, but sometimes stupid bitch season come around and some of you niggas don't know what to do. Like, damn, man, everything was cool. Everything was going right. All of a sudden, it was like the bitch just lost her mind. Every time I look up, she getting arrested. Every time I look up, she getting into an accident. She locking her keys inside the car. She losing the fucking phone that I paid over $1,000 or $2,000 for. Just all type of stupid shit. Yeah, stupid bitch season. But even when it's stupid bitch season, it's still a reason for me to keep on pimping, though. Yeah. The bitch ain't gonna never give me a problem that I don't have, you understand me, a solution for. What's the solution? This motherfucking game, this pimping. She ain't gonna never come up with one problem that I can't produce a solution that's bigger than that problem that she gave. You understand me? Yeah, man, yeah. Hit that like button. Yeah, I already know. Your favorite YouTubers can't give you this. This shit that I teach and I preach that I'm speaking on right now, this is something personal with me. That's the difference. This ain't from a book I read, films I seen. This is from what I motherfucking live. Ups and downs, downs and ups and downs, downs and ups and downs. I done really did this shit. I know what it's like to be without. You know what I mean? I'm so motherfucking overwhelmed with this motherfucking joy, man. I ain't even got to y'all comments yet. You know what I'm saying? I see Balance that set up there and came up with the 100. Let me just use Balance as an example. Every video that I give, this ain't no revelation to him in the Pimpin. Sometimes it's just encouragement for the pavement. Sometimes it's just to put the Pimpin in remembrance or keep the Pimpin sharp. But you know why Balance be doing what he be doing? It's because he want to make the game look good. He see Pimpin going forth. You know what I'm saying? When you see me in other platforms, every now and then, unless they talking about some shit that I don't want to donate or be a part of, you know what I mean? I'll come on somebody's platform. The reason why you sitting over there see me giving them hundreds, nigga, it's not because they just dropping so many gems and all of that shit. It's because I'm making the game look good. Squares be like, oh my God, he got that to give? Yeah, bitch, I got that to give and then some, bitch. I'm going to check that tonight. It's nothing. Matter of fact, let me scratch that. I'm going to check it today and tonight. You know? Yeah, that's going to come back, bitch. You know what I mean? I'm a reap, you know what I mean? Because I keep on sowing. I'm a reap, you know what I mean? Because them hoes is hoeing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he does that to make the game look good. He does that to make the game shine, to set an example. It's just like, because in the future, what I plan to do, and I told you guys, when we get over that hump, when we officially get over that hump, and especially when I bring my book out and I get certain things accomplished, that's when, because I'm gonna endeavor to do other things, that's when I'm gonna be encouraging others to step out. Seeing, what do you mean by that? It's almost like a pastor that's presiding over a congregation. You know what I mean? It's certain ministers that been sitting in that congregation, you know what I mean, a little bit too long. It's not that they not students anymore. It's that it's time for them to go into the field. It's time for them to go evangelize. It's time for them to go minister. You know what I mean? And I've seen certain ministers in the days of my youth sit in the congregation too long, sit in that church too long, when God called them to go to the jails, the prisons, to the ghettos, to sit up there and get the passport and go to another country and evangelize the gospel. But they got their whole spiritual mode on comfortability sitting in them church walls while the streets is missing the word. You know what I mean? So I have that same mentality towards this pimping. This is not for you to keep, some of y'all, this ain't for you to keep listening to this game and keep being in the motherfucking comment section. No, it's for you to get inspiration, for you to get out the comment section, for you to start your own shit as a man or a woman, and you sit up there and share your life experiences and bless others. You know what I mean? It ain't for you to just be sitting over there. That's right, Sin. That's right. Oh man, it ain't for that. It's for you to get what you supposed to get the game from the table. You understand me? And once the spirit of the game speak to you to do what you need to do and start your own, do your thing, my nigga. You know, because it's a beautiful thing when you have created a platform, and if you got music or a book or restaurant, business, and you can sit up there and promote yourself other than asking or trying to pay somebody to promote you. But man, I appreciate you guys for being here. You're not here by accident. You're not here by coincidence. You're here because God ordained it. You're here because the game ordained it. As a matter of fact, let me break that down. You know, there's many definitions of the game. One of the main definitions of the game that Sinful uses and defines the game to be is uncommon information, uncommon knowledge, uncommon wisdom. It's just uncommon. I'll give you an example. Before I get deep in my message, I just want to give clarity and show charity at the same time. Check it out. If me, Balance, you know what I mean? If we sitting over there, you know what I mean, chopping it up with King Difference, and we chopping it up with Sapopa the Prince, and we chopping game, and we speaking on a subject that we all on one accord, we in the spirit of unity, in agreement on, you know what I mean? That's called chopping game. We just chopping game. There's no revelation. We just in agreement on certain information in this conversation that we're having, but there's no revelations being given. So we just chopping it up. We just fellowshipping. In other words, we just communicating. But once somebody say something that we have never heard. Once somebody gives some knowledge that I was ignorant of, now some game has just been dropped. That's a revelation. That's called giving game. All right. So I don't want you to think, that this is even though my lifestyle, yes, it's full of carnality, but I don't want, people to think, oh, he taking that. No, I know in the word of God, it say that, the joy of the Lord is your strength. You know what I mean? And I want you to know that in the streets, we call knowledge game, wisdom game. Okay. So you would have never known that the joy of the Lord is your strength without the game. Seeing what you mean by that. How would you know something is your strength if you don't have knowledge of it? So it's the game that brings the outstanding understanding that prevents you from having misunderstandings. It's the game that saves you. You might say, how does it save you? Somebody in the word is say, you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. It shall make you free. But how the truth gonna make you free if you don't know it first? You shall know the truth. In other words, if you don't know the truth, you're not going to be free. You're going to continue to be bound. So it's the game. It's knowledge, understanding that saves you. It's knowledge that sanctifies you. It's knowledge that exalts you. It's wisdom that lifts you up and maintains that position. It's the game. So when I say that the game is your strength, whatever you're going through, it's that knowledge, that'll sit up there and get you fired up. You know what I mean? It's so easy to sit up there and get the pimpin' charged up. P, what you mean by that? Sometimes, man, the pimpin' can be fucked up, and not all the time the pimpin' need a jug. The coldest jug that you could give a pimp, is sometimes putting him in remembrance of his value. And that's greater than any dollar that you can give him. So silver and gold I have not. I might not have $1. I might not have, no money at this particular time. But I might make him reminisce in retrospect about the time when he was driving that Benz or that Jag or that Rolls or that Bentley or that clean Charger that he had, or, maybe people suited and booted that day. And he was tailored up. He looked like he was tailored up from God. He had on some cologne that would basically put any bitch out of pocket. That type of shit. Yeah, P, remember when you sit up there, man, and came to the Blade, man, and you came with that taupe, that taupe S550 coupe? Yeah, man, you didn't know it then because I didn't tell you. But, man, yeah, man, you really inspired me, man, when I seen you pull up like that. Pete, remember that time when you got out that limousine and just to see that white man have to come out of the car and open up the door for you as you stepped out to ride? You know what I mean? And I could just see it was just a glow on you, man. I just didn't want to say anything at that time because I didn't want you to think that I was choosing, you know what I'm saying? But you really inspired me, man. At that time, I was wearing, Jordans and Air Force Ones and Louis this and gym shoes and shit. But when I seen how clean you used to get, that's what made me want to put a suit on. You fired me up, P. Just to see you sitting over there, not only serving niggas, but that time that you got served and you kept on pimping. Yeah, that's what fired me up. You was my reference. You was my example of what a pimp should be. You was disciplined. You was on fire for the game. You was always happy about this shit. You know what I mean? So when I came in the pimp circle, a lot of niggas didn't know, but I was ignorant at that time, P. You know what I mean? But I used to soak up that game that used to come out your mouth, man, like a sponge. And because of that, I am what I am today, P. And just to hear that from another pimp, you know what I mean? Whatever he going through, that'll fire the pimping up. That'll get the pimping stirred up because a motherfucker was paying attention that you didn't even think that was paying attention. A motherfucker will tell you some shit that you totally forgot about. You know what I mean? You wasn't even thinking about that. Like, damn, I did have that on. Damn, I forgot all about that bitch. Damn, he saw me when I had the, damn. You know what I'm saying? That's all it takes. And that's more than any money that the pimper could even give you. You know what I mean? If you some real pimping, that's all it take. You know what I mean? I remember a pimp could tell you like, yeah, man, I just remember, man, I had one hoe too long. You know, I had this one hoe for over a year, man. And you know what I mean? You didn't know people, but you was cutting me up and you didn't even know you was cutting me up, man. In the conversation, you was like, yeah, man, a king's supposed to have a kingdom, man. A pimp's supposed to have hoes. You know, a pimp's supposed to have hoes. And when you said it the way you said it, you know what I mean? You like, don't no pimp, man, feel comfortable, man, having no one bitch, no matter how much, you know what I mean, she paying him. She could be checking, you understand me, $1 billion a day. A pimp supposed to have hoes, man. You know what I mean? Nigga ain't no boyfriend, and he don't want the spirit of boyfriend and girlfriend to come in his motherfucking home. You know what I mean? So a pimp gonna have hoes, man. He not gonna let that bitch get comfortable, you know what I mean, and just being the only bitch. You know, he gonna have pressure on that hoe by constantly having, you know what I mean, hoes, you know what I mean, coming in and out because he's constantly campaigning. You know, pimp supposed to have hoes, man. And that charged me up, P. Like I said, that's all it take. That's all it take, man. And now to get the pimping fired the fuck up. Yeah, but just to make you guys reminisce the reason why I am the way that I am, you know what I mean, because I was pretty much raised, you know, and groomed to be the way that I am. Saying what you mean by that? Man, I used to see my mother, you know, go through certain things. I used to see the women of God, the men of God, you know what I mean, go through certain things, different elders and ministers, you know, within holiness, you know what I mean? And I just remember, you know what I mean, how people would be broke. They wouldn't have no money. You know what I mean? It's Monday, and in some kind of way, they gotta still feed their children and still put food on this table and provide, and they don't get paid until next Friday. Not this Friday, but the next Friday. And they would still come in the house of God, you know what I mean, fired up, you know what I mean, joy. You would think that they were billionaires the way that they were celebrating and glorifying and magnifying and exalting God. They were shouting and, you know what I mean, giving God praise and still had gratitude for the multitude of things that God had done. I used to see that. You know what I mean? I remember, you know what I mean, Sister Washington and Sister Earlene and, you know what I mean, of course, my mom and, you know what I mean? I just remember Sister Wendy. You know what I mean? These were just different sisters that I used to see, you know what I mean, that always just had joy. You know, my auntie, you know what I mean, Sister Ringo. You know, man, I just remember certain things that they were going through. And because, you know, of course, you know, when you fellowshipping with the saints all the time, you know, personal business. And in spite of everything they used to go through, they always used to sit up there and have joy. Another thing that I got from the people of God, I got from the saints of God, that I brought into the world, that I brought into the pimp game, is I would always see how joy had magnetism to it. Seeing what you mean by that? You know, joy has magnetism to it, meaning that, you know, I just remember how the saints of God used to witness to sinners and backsliders. And in spite of whatever they was going through in their personal life, they never allowed that to be a display on their physical expression. You would never see the spirit of depression. You would always see them, you know what I mean, on cloud nine, you know, with the joy. Why? Because they was caught up in the anointing. They was caught up in the word of God. So whenever they would go to a grocery store or a mall or anywhere, you know what I mean, a sinner would ask them, excuse me, ma'am, I just want to know, you know, why are you so happy? You know what I mean? Every time I see you, you joyful, you got a smile on your face and you just happy, like, you know what I mean? I'm no disrespect, not trying to get in your business, but what you got going on? And that would always lead to opportunities of them ministering about Christ simply because the joy that they had. See, when you in this game, it's going to be certain things that you going to go through, but you can't bring that outside. You can't allow individuals to know, you know what I mean, that you going through what you going through. No, especially when you a man. You know what I mean? You got to come out with the joy of the game in spite of what you going through. You know what I mean? The hoe just blew up. Still got to maintain the joy. This bitch being a faggot. Still got to maintain the joy. These niggas is lying on you. Still got to maintain that joy. P, I got a new case that I'm fighting against. Still got to maintain that joy. And no matter what you going through, you got to maintain your joy, because when you lose your joy, you lost your strength. You lost your strength to go on. You have to maintain the joy. You know what I mean? So that's what I got, you know what I mean, as a child, just seeing the people of God, the saints of God, you know what I mean, used to praise God in spite of what they were going through. And I used to see how sinners from the streets used to sit up there and gravitate to the saints of God because of the joy that they had. You know, so that's why when you hear me speaking about this game, I don't be, you know what I'm saying, and you know, that's why, you know what I mean, and you know, it's this pimping, man, you know what I'm talking about, and you know what I'm saying, like, ho, when you gonna choose, you know what I'm saying, bitch, when you gonna choose some pimping, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, change your life, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. You gotta have joy. Some of you niggas is too dry. You're too dry about this pimping. And if you don't got no love for the game, if you ain't got no love for this pimping, hey man, go get you a job, man. Yeah, go square up or something, man. You acting like, man, you'll be more happier with a girlfriend or a wife or a new life or something, man. You know what I mean? Go change your lifestyle or something, man. Pick up a job application, man. You know what I mean? You in the way. You too in the motherfucking way, man, with this shit. If you're not going to be joyful about this pimping, if you're not going to be joyful about this game, leave this shit alone. Because these women are going to exemplify what you glorify to them. And if you exemplifying depression and you exemplifying always woe is me, and you know what I mean, my mama wasn't there for me, and you know what I mean, and some of you bitches are so silly paying these niggas that, you know, always, he's sorrowful and shit. He's the weeping prophet in the game. He's always crying and he always going through something, and the only reason why you fucking with him because you feel sorry for him and all of that shit. Bitch, and listen to me well. You would sit up there and give 10 and 15 years of hoeing to somebody like that, and at the end of the day, at the end of the game, bitch, you will be broken, you'll be bitter, and you won't be better. As I like to say, you know what I mean? In the end, you won't have no characteristics, no materialistics for your existence in the game. You'll just be another sad statistic. You know what I mean? Bitch, don't be stupid. You know what I mean? Leave that situation alone. Feeling sorry. You sitting over there putting your life in danger and sleeping with strangers and sitting over there going through all of that shit and putting solicitations and prostitution on your name cross country for a nigga that's depressed all the time and he need drugs, and he sitting up there be crying, and you know what I mean, he's sitting over there doing drugs and always high. He can't even supply the pimping. You be discouraged and he can't even encourage you. You to be down and he can't even lift you up. You be sitting over there in motherfucking situations where you were supposed to break this motherfucking high-end trick. This trick is a motherfucking millionaire, and you calling him for some game, but he too fucking high to sit up there and give you some motherfucking game and shit, bitch. This shit ain't about no goddamn feelings. You'll be a motherfucking bitch, you know what I mean, that, you know what I mean, I gave 15 years, you know what I mean, to Emotional Mac. You gave 15 years to who? Yeah, I gave 15 years of my hoeing to Emotional Mac, and you know what I mean? And I hate the game. I should have stayed in school, and now you got a negative vibe. Now you hate, you know what I mean, the pimping. Now you got a negative, you know, just a whole connotate definition, vision, depiction about this game simply because you chose to sit up there and pay some old depressed ass male that professed to be a man in this pimping. He not strong enough to be this pimping. He not strong enough to sit up there and be a leader. He's too weak. If you can't lead beyond pain, you're not fit to be in this pimping. If you can't lead beyond pain, you're not fit to be no man. If you can't lead beyond pain, you're not fit to preside over women. Sit your motherfucking soft ass down. Nigga gotta sit up there and have joy with this shit. The motherfucker can't maintain, you know what I mean, the joy with his pimping. You know what I mean, man? Leave that nigga alone. He's always sorrowful. He always needs drugs. He always needs to get high. He always spinning your horn. He always spinning that, you know what I mean, to get high and all of that shit like that. Man, this game ain't about supporting drug addicts and shit, bitch. You better sit up there and get you a pimp. If you was gonna sit up there and be involved with somebody you feel sorry for and shit, bitch, you might as well stay in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, bitch. This ain't what that shit about. I promise you this is not what this pimping and hoeing is about. You'll be a bitch that's 35 and 40 years old mad because your youth has departed and your markability ain't the same and you gave all your years and shit to a lame. You know what I mean? Don't let that be you. You know what I mean? Don't let that be you. You know? Hold on. So just keeping that thing, you know what I mean, all the way, 100. You know what I mean? This is, of course, this is for the fellas. I'm giving encouragement for the pavement man to the pimping. But you know what I mean? You hoes better take heed too. You know what I mean? If a motherfucker is not, if he can't lead beyond pain, which is something else that, you understand me, the incomparable Andre Taylor, you know what I mean, taught me years ago. A leader lead beyond pain. If he can't lead beyond adversity, if he can't lead beyond a bitch blowing up, if he can't lead beyond getting knocked, if he can't lead beyond being lied on, if he can't lead beyond his so-called P partner, you know what I mean, talking behind his back, you know what I mean, to us. So if he can't lead beyond that, then he not fit for the game. This ain't for no soft ass nigga. This ain't for no motherfucking Winnie the Pooh, you know what I mean, woe is me ass nigga. That's not what this game is about. It's not. You know what I mean? If you had that misunderstanding, I've come to give you the outstanding understanding and take the belt off and hit you upside the head with the game so you can see that it's not. Don't waste your time. You know? But yeah, man, I just had to sit up there and write the vision and make it plain. You know what I mean? I appreciate, you know what I mean, the cash apps and the super chats and things like that. You know what I mean? Thank you. I appreciate, you know what I mean, every contribution, you know, that you've seen. But the reason why it's so easy for sin to get pimps fired up, you know, when we doing consultation and when we sitting over there talking, it's simply because once I put the pimping in remembrance of his first trap, you know, how basically, you know what I mean? Because see, I don't know what it felt like to you. You know how you squares be like, you know, when you hear Kiki Wyatt sing My First Love, you know, or maybe your song might have been IMX, you know, My Very First Time, whatever song you into. Or maybe you felt a certain way when Donny Hathaway, you know, used to sing with Roberta Flack, The Closer I Get to You, and you felt some kind of way. I'm here to tell you that that's how the pimpin' felt when I got that first trap. You know what I mean? Yeah, remember how you felt that tingly feeling? You know what I mean? When that man proposed to you, bitch. Yeah, man, remember when you sit up there and got that raise on the job? Or when you got that new career? Or when you graduated from school? Yeah, man, that's how the pimpin' felt, man, when I got my first trap, man. Yeah, bitch, remember when you cried when that nigga put that ring on your finger? Yeah, that's how I felt when that hoe put that trap in my hand. Yeah, that's how I felt. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember like yesterday, man, 2007, man. Yeah, June of 2007, man. You know what I mean? Rachel, who I ended up naming Priceless after the Priceless that Nice had, you know what I mean? Yeah, she called a date for $250 at Hooters. Yeah, Hooters Casino, man. Yeah, and you would have thought the bitch had made me a billionaire the way that my two dimples came out. Yeah, when she put that $250 in my hand, you would have thought that I had more money, you know what I mean, than Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates around this motherfucker. You would have thought that I had more money than Steve Wynn. The joy that I had, the feeling that I had, Webster's Collegiate Dictionary can't even fucking define when she put that trap in my hand. You remember when you heard in that certain songs, like, I looked at my feet and my feet looked new. I looked at my hands And my hands did too. Yeah, that's how I felt when that bitch put that trap in my hand, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how I felt, man. You know what I mean? That's how I felt about this pimping. When that hoe put that $250 in my hand. You know, I know some people, their first trap was 40,000 and 100,000 in jewelry and all that shit. Mine wasn't nothing but $250. But you would have thought that the bitch gave me $1 billion because I was just so motherfucking just overwhelmed, delighted that this bitch sat up there and went in the hotel with this stranger and sucked and fucked, you know what I mean, for $250 and just gave it to me and put it in my hand, relinquished the shit. My mind was blown. Mine was blown from that day on. Mine was just blown. You know, sex ain't have nothing. Hey man, sex couldn't fuck with this. I done had some beautiful ass pussy, cold ass head. You know what I mean? I done had bitches to sit up there and give washing machine. I done had some mouths that felt like baptism pools, you know, some cold bitches. But hey, man, hey, after all is said and done, you know what I mean? Even the motherfucking goats with the throats couldn't even fuck with the first trap in the game, man. Yeah, the goats of the throats could not sit up there and fuck with a hoe doing the most, giving me my first motherfucking trap in the game, man. She couldn't, that don't even fuck with that. But seeing what about your first time? And, you know what I mean, have you ever felt in love? And, you know, seeing what about that time, you know what I mean, when you first, you know what I mean, seen a bitch, you know what I mean, come. And I know all of that, but it's still not equivalent to when that hoe put that $250 in my hand. You know? Yeah, man. You know, it's just something special about it, man. It just did something to me. But like I said, my experience might have been that, you know what I mean? And then you know what's so cold? When I got that trap, Freeze was right there. All you gotta do is ask Freeze, he'll tell you. But yeah, man, you know what I mean? From that day on, your experience might be different. You know, and I know sometimes, you know, to keep maintaining that negativity or that depression, the enemy wants you to stay focused on things, you know what I mean, that's, you know, this bitch won't do this bitch won't do that, this bitch, you know what I mean, every time you say something, she want to give a reply instead of a comply, you know what I mean, this bitch getting arrested like it's the thing to do, you know what I mean, this bitch want to keep talking to her square ass family before going to work, you know what I mean, and now she in an attitude, now she emotional, or, you know, this bitch, she keep listening to square ass songs and shit, you know, while she going to work, she thinking about all type of square ass shit that ain't got nothing to do with the game, you know what I mean, you know, Pimpin got to Pimpin got to stop all of that. You know, let me just say that a lot of y'all going through some things that you don't have to go through. Let me kick the door down on that. Oh, P, I'm going through so much. Yeah, you're going through so much because you're afraid to pimp. You know? Now, of course, my message is my message, but some of you are allowing certain things to go on in your home, and you wouldn't even feel the way you feel if you just pimp. Yeah, you wouldn't even feel depressed like that, P. Yeah, if you just pimp, man. Yeah, you wouldn't even feel discouraged. You wouldn't feel like you need to knock, you know what I mean, this bitch head off her neck. You know what I mean, if you would just go ahead and pimp. You know? But some of you put yourselves in certain situations, and that's why the joy has departed. But it can return. Yeah, you can bring restoration to your situation right now, bro. All you got to do is apply the medication. Yeah, it's called pimping. Yeah, you don't have that problem, don't have to sit up there, you know what I mean, and exist anymore. All you got to do is pimp. That's all you got to do is pimp. You know what I mean? That's all you got to do is pimp. But going back to what I was originally saying, you know what I mean, to make a motherfucker sit up there and really, you know what I mean, get charged up about the game, all you got to do is make the pimping. This is something, I'm just giving you my format. Those that's listening right now, you like, man, P, I done gave this nigga a jug. I done sat up there and took the pimping shopping. I done did this with P to encourage him up. You know what I mean? And it's damn near been 2 months and, you know, P ain't got a hoe yet. Yeah, but did you sit down and did you take the time out to charge him up with some pimping though? Because sometimes keep giving somebody a jug Sometimes you could be handicapping that man. You know what I mean? You could be hindering him from going to the next level because you're pacifying a situation. You know, you keep giving him a jug when, you know what I mean, that's not what he's in need of. He's in need of a correction, exhortation. He's in need of remembrance. That's what he's in need of. And sometimes a pimp can have 5, 6 pimps around him that, you know, got love for him and shit like that, but they keep giving jugs and shit when that's not what he need. He needs somebody to say, fuck all of that we cool shit, you know what I mean, and tell P what the fuck it is. Keep that realness in your circle. Yeah, P, I'm just gonna keep that shit all the way real. You know, you my P partner. I know you a pimp, but in that last situation, I didn't think you did any pimping, P. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that shit 100, P. I think you was playing with that bitch. And because I know you to be the cold pimp that you are, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, really fucked me up to see that unpimping shit you was doing with that bitch. And that's why you in the situation that you in right now. Because you was playing with that bitch. And if he can't continue to be your P partner after you check his ass on some pimping, then that ain't your P partner any goddamn way. And I don't mean to start nothing, but I'm just telling it like it is. That's why Freeze always had more P partners than me. Because if I can't check you when you do something contrary to the game, then nigga, we don't need to be cool. I remember one nigga, we was cool all the time. We was actually more cool than him and Freeze now. Him and Freeze is tight now. They more cooler. Me and this nigga, we don't really talk no more. P, what ended y'all partnership in the game, man? We was so cool. But one time P admitted to me that he be going in the strip club and he said out of his own mouth, word for word, verbatim, he not paying for no dances. He ain't paying for sex. But what he will do, you know what I mean, is ask, can he speak to a woman, you know what I mean, if it's a woman that, you know, he liking on, if she could sit down and just listen to him talk, you know what I mean, about the game, and he'll pay her to just listen. And see, me, I don't get down like that. How the fuck I'm gonna sit up there and pay you to listen to this game? Bitch, it's a privilege to listen to Sinful to P talk about this pimping. Bitch, I wish the fuck I would sit up there and give you some money to listen to me. So when he told me the shit, and he said the shit like it was some fly shit, I had to cut him up. And the nigga that I'm talking about, you know what I mean, he would be considered one of the rich P's in the game. But I had to cut him up because a lot of that shit that you niggas think there's like some cold game and it's some game that other people ain't using, and you know what I mean, you feel justified because of where you live. You feel justified because of what you drive, and you feel justified because of the bras that you having. But I'm gonna just tell it like it is. A lot of you niggas got that shit that you got. You living off the earnings of prostitution. You just ain't pimping. That is not pimping. I'm not sitting over there paying no bride to listen to me. The fuck I'm paying a bitch for an interview? A bitch supposed to be paying the pimping to have an interview with him. What the fuck a pimp look like paying for a fucking interview with a goddamn bitch? So once I sat up there and chopped him up and cut him up like he was supposed to be cut, you know, P got in his feelings about it. You know, and at the time, we're going to keep it real. And at the time, he was doing financially better than me. So he felt like I couldn't tell him nothing because he was doing financially better than me at the time. So he wasn't going to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we not cool no more. Because he didn't know how to take a check. Like I told you, motherfuckers, I don't want no nigga around me or calling himself pimping or my P partner. He can check me. But the moment I take my belt off and shit and I whoop his motherfucking ass with this game, you know what I mean, he crying and shit. You know what I mean? Now he want to get, you know what I mean, all feeble and he want to get all weak and shit and become a weak ass damsel in distress because he done got his ass whooped with this game. Nah, I don't need no nigga like that around me. You know? Yeah, I don't need no nigga like that around me, man. So, like I said, and I've been saying, And I've been saying from the beginning, and let me say it one more time for the ninth inning. Just because some income come out of the wrong, that don't change the wrong and make the wrong right. Just because some living of the earnings of prostitution came out of doing something wrong, that don't change the wrong into being right. You know what I mean? Pimps do not pay for interviews. So ever since then, we ain't been cool. But guess what? I told you all that to tell you this. Even with me losing certain P partners in the game and certain ones jumping on bandwagons and all of that, I still had to maintain my joy for this shit here. Even after I found out that certain things that I used to believe was to be the truth and it was exposed to be a lie, I still had to maintain my encouragement for this pimping. You know what I mean? I had to maintain, in spite of all of that. You know what I mean? Me and P, we don't fuck with each other no more. You know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers that I done set up there, and lost, continuing on in this game. It is what the fuck it is. The game, if you ask me, the game got me right where I need to motherfucking be. By my motherfucking self. Of course, Freeze my brother, but he don't count. That's my brother. You know what I mean? I got a few P partners and shit like that, but I don't have a big ass crowd of friends and all of that shit. No. Game got me right where I need to be. You know what I mean? As a yielded vessel unto the game. Now, I don't need to be sitting over there trying to be friends with you niggas and shit like that, and you doing weird ass shit like paying for interviews and, throwing money at bitches for strip clubs. And no. I don't need to be cool with you weird ass niggas. And if I got to do all that to come up and all of that shit, then I guess I'll just be at this little level right here. I'm cool. P, certain things you got to do. Nah. This is how, and then let me just slide this in before I go further. This is how you know I'm a compromiser when you hear one. What do you care about more? Do you care about the rules or do you want to win? Which one is more important to you? Following the rules of the game or winning? That's when you're talking to a compromiser. This ain't even a word, but I made it a word and been saying this word, for years. That's the spirit of compromisation. That's a compromiser. I'm not compromising none of that shit. Principle, because a motherfucker compromised the rules, next thing you know, he compromising principles, manhood, and the enemy will look and say, oh, okay, well, if he compromised that, let me just throw some more money over there. All it takes is some money for him to compromise. He might fuck with a transsexual or something in the long run. He might sit up there and fuck with a homo that's a motherfucking that's selling his booty, and making 3 to 5 racks a day. He might sit up there and check little boy out. Yeah, he might sit up there and do something with him. Since money is his thing, you can't fuck with no nigga that loves money. No, you can't do that. But that, like I said, that's another subject. Seeing to end up preaching, there's so many messages within one, but yeah, that's another subject. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just showing you in this game, man, you're going to go through some hurdles. You're going to go through some mountains. You're going to go through lies and rumors. You're going to go through individuals sitting over there trying to bring you down. You're going to go through hoes blowing up, hoes choosing up. You're going to go through all of that shit. But it's imperative for every representative of the game to maintain his joy. You got to maintain your joy. P, what's joy? Fulfillment. Joy is fulfillment. Joy is happiness. That's joy. You gotta sit up there, man. I'm happy to still be here. In spite of what's going on, man, my feet are still above ground. The blood is still warm in my veins. The haters might not think I'm supposed to be alive. The haters might not believe that I'm supposed to have the mercies of God, but I got exactly what God wants me to have. I'm doing exactly what the game wants me to do. Man, that's enough to have gratitude right there. That's enough to have gratitude right there. But another thing that, I want to speak on is the peace. Now, all you didn't do this, but it was a joy when you first started getting into the game, how you used to be the first one to the blade and the last one to leave. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you'll come to the blade, man. You know what I mean? You just, man, especially when you young in the game, you green as a pool table, yeah, you want to get into them pimp circles. You want to be around the pimping. You know what I mean? And just be listening. You know what I mean? Soaking up the game, man. It was just so fun. I know a lot of squares like pimping was fun. Yes. Man, pimping was fun. It's still fun, but I'm talking about in that beginning stage when you first get into the lifestyle, you know what I mean? You're knocking niggas and shit like that. You're going cross country for the very first time. It's a joy that comes with that, And if you never been in the game, you wouldn't even know what I'm talking about, But just to come to the blade and you put your hoes first down, you know what I mean? And you keeping them down, and then the pimp start recognizing you and shit, be like, hey, P, man, I just want to say, man, a lot of these niggas, they don't believe in pimping, man, but I've been noticing, man, you keep them hoes down. How the pimps be sweating your hoes, and you never, the only reason why they found out that was your hoe is because they seen you at a mall or a restaurant, you know what I mean? Or you was buying clothes or something for them hoes or something. You know what I mean? That's the only way the pimpin' found out, you know what I mean, that was your bitch. Because they seen you, away from the blade, you know what I mean, shopping with that hoe or doing something with them hoes and shit. But you never said in a conversation, hey, P, that's my work. Hey, P, that's my bitch. And so the pimpin' took a liking to you because they was sweating at your hoes, you know what I mean, to motherfucking top of the morning. And not one time did you ever pull over and say, hey, P, man, let the hoe work. Hey, P, let the bitch work, man. You know what I mean? Let the bitch. You never did none of that funny ass shit. You just let the pimps pimp. You know what I mean? And once motherfuckers found out, yeah, man, that's P bitch right there. For real? Damn, so he been standing in the circle all this whole time, just chopping it up and laughing with me. And not one time, you know what I mean, that he said that was his bitch, and he just been seeing me pulling up on her and, spitting my best game and, all of this shit. And he just chop it up with me, and we, damn, okay. Yeah, P's some pimping. Yeah, he's some pimping, And it just make a young pimp feel good, So it's just times like that, man. You just have to reminisce, man. I don't know what you're going through right now, P. You might be in a hotel room, or, you know what I mean, a motel room right now. You might be in a weekly right now. Matter of fact, you might not even have all that going on. You might just be living in your car. Hello, somebody. Sin had been there before. What I tell you guys, man, I gave you good game some years back. Let me take you back just a little bit. Yeah, man, you know what I mean? I know what it's like to have all your luggage. How many know about sitting over there going to the Days Inn? You know what I mean? Or to the Comfort Inn, And you ain't got your money funny. Your change is strange, And just to keep it real, I've been in some situations where I couldn't even afford a motherfucking hotel room. P, what you say? Yeah, I done been in some situations, man. I couldn't even afford a hotel room. Sin, what did you do? Man, Sin I used to sometimes, what I do, especially when I was in Chicago or just in the Midwest and shit like that, it's much easier. But really, you know what I mean? When you broke and fucked up, hey, man, you know what I mean? I done been fucked up to the point where, you know what I mean, I had to sit up there and make a reservation to the hotel. Yeah, I had to make a reservation to the hotel, man. And once you get a room there, once I got there, I sit up there and tell the people, I say, I got a meeting to attend. Because, see, I was always able to do that, young pimp, and I hope you listening. The reason why Sin got away with a lot, because I always stayed clean. The reason why Sin got away with a lot is because I always stayed clean. It was the power of the suit. So, you know what I mean? I'll make a reservation at a hotel, you know what I mean? And once I get in there, I'm like, yeah, I got a meeting to a 10 right now. I know that, I'll be able to get in the room at 3 o'clock, but I'm not going to be here because of this meeting right now. Oh, sir, we could just take your bags. Yes, could you just take my bags and, just take my bags and I'll be back, later on. Oh, sure, sir. Let me just take your bags and, give you a ticket. And now they done took all my bags and shit. So now I don't got no bags. And now I'm suited and booted outside. And so now I can sit up there, you understand me, and go to this G-Hound. Yeah. Now I can sit up there and go, to a Greyhound, or airport, or mall, in the streets or wherever the fuck I need to be to get my next bitch while they got my bags. Yeah, man, I done did it like that. Pimps know what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, I'm going to sit up there and drop some more game. Another way that the pimping stayed up, the way I was able to keep food in my body, when a pimp was in between bitches, man, holeless and doleless, is a motherfucker would go to the, damn, man, I'm trying to think of, shit, I might have to call P. Because I'm the one that came up with that game. I was like, P, I done found the spot. He said, what? I said, yeah, man. I done found the spot, man. Top of the morning, man. They letting the pimp, make his own breakfast and shit. Man. You like, what? I was like, yeah, man. Pimp had 2 omelets, orange juice, and some more motherfucking shit. So he like, what you talking? I'm trying to think, man. Matter of fact, hold on. Give me, hold on. Matter of fact, I'm trying to think of the hotel. And when you hear it, you're going to be like, oh, P, I could have told you that. Matter of fact, y'all should even, Embassy Suites. I ain't even got to say no more. The Embassy motherfucking Suites. It's another one too I'm thinking of too. But the Embassy Suites, man, listen, if you got a suit on, if you suited and booted, if you clean as hell, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you. You come in there clean as hell and you just make your breakfast. Yeah, extended clips, the good looking. I appreciate that. Some of y'all still remember, man. But man, this is how a pimp, man, stayed fed. This is how I kept food in my body, man. While hoes was acting stupid and shit. A pimp had to sit up there and fall in that Embassy Suites, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, to get me that good morning breakfast, man. That good ass orange juice, you did? And nobody thought that I was an outsider because why? Look at the way I'm dressed. You can just tell I got a room in this motherfucker. So, yeah, man, that's exactly why I was able to get away with that. So if you a P right now and you going through what you going through, some of you always sitting over there talking about some, yeah, man, I ain't no suit wearing ass nigga and woo, 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 woo. Yeah, but most of them niggas that talk all that shit, when they was busted and disgusted, they didn't know what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? But I was always able to get away with a lot of shit because I was always suited and booted. I was clean. So by me coming in the establishment like I was clean, another thing that I used to do, I might not have that much money, but one thing I did, I always respect business. That's another thing you niggas don't do. You got to respect business. Seeing what you mean by that. When I come in the establishment, even when I was holeless and doleless, I don't give a fuck if I only had $17. If I step inside this Starbucks, I am going to purchase something. If I'm going to use this Starbucks for Wi-Fi or to charge up my phone so I can get at a bitch, I'm going to come up in here and I'm going to buy something in here so I can stay in here. I just won't be the individual to just come in and charge my phone and I haven't bought any damn thing. No, you have to buy something. Some of y'all are just too niggerish, But I always respected business, But during that time when a pimp was holeless and doleless, man, like I said, man, I'm talking from experience. I ain't talking from nobody's book. See, all them niggas can talk all of that shit and say what they don't like about this nigga and all of that. But motherfuckers that know me, man, they know what the fuck it is. Whether you like me or not, can't deny this pimping. No, I'm not talking from you little niggas' books because I never read your books. I ain't never read one pimp book in my life. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all know that because you remember when we was on the video, me and Shantae, and Tay was trying to, I don't read a lot of cats' books because I know they be lying. And I'm not saying he is, but I know niggas be lying. They don't want to tell you about shit like this. They want to tell you about Zeemers and Rolls Royces and all of that. And you got to talk about that, but talk about them downs, man. Who was you when you was fucked up? Was you still a high value man when you was fucked up? When that hoe left you, when you got knocked for that bitch, did you start acting like a bitch because the bitch was gone? Who was you, nigga, when you didn't have shit? That's gonna determine, that's who I wanna know. Who was you when you was fucked up? Cause it's easy to motherfucking deceive and make a motherfucker believe, you know what I mean, when you count money. Cause I done seen a lot of buster ass niggas and bitch ass niggas hide behind money. I wanna know who you was when you fell off. And if you never fell off, that's gonna speak volumes to me about your so-called pimping. Because if you really pimped in this game and maintained your principles and stood on manhood, you gonna have some ups and downs and turnarounds in this shit. Cause there's gonna be times where these bitches sit up there, you understand me, and try to come against this pimping. Yeah, it's gonna be times, you know what I mean, when a bitch she don't feel like being submissive. She don't feel like being in compliance, you know what I mean, to the pimping. And you already know when a bitch don't feel like being in compliance to the pimping, God bless you, bitch. It was nice. Yeah, it was nice knowing you. I appreciate the horn that you gave while you was here. But I see you didn't caught a flat tire with your horn, bitch, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta keep going. I got pimping to do. I don't got time to be sorrowful. Woe is me. How could she left me? Oh, I got these bills left. No, man. I know what the fuck, you understand me, the game signed me up for. I know what it is. I know the consequences that come with this shit. It is what it is. If you can accept the consequences that come with the lifestyle that you live, that speaks volumes to me about your manhood. A lot of y'all can accept the riches and the bitches, the popularity and prosperity, but you're not willing to, you know what I mean, go through the adversity and the correctional facility that might come from this shit. So you're not made for this shit. You need to leave this shit alone. You know, please don't be fooled by tattoos and niggas talking about how they used to gang bang. And I done seen the coldest of the cold. And once them niggas got up in the courtroom, they was crying like bitches. Niggas crying like bitches. You know what I mean? You have to maintain your joy. I wasn't even going there, but let me just speak on that. Pimps don't cry in the courtroom. That's a video within itself. Pimps don't cry in the courtroom. Pimps ain't crying at all, number one. You know, if your mama, your grandmama, sister, something tragic happened, and you know what I mean, you cried in privacy, or you just couldn't control it, I can understand that. But a white woman, or some white man, or any color man or woman, you know, telling you that you facing this amount of time, or sentencing you, you know what I mean? The pimping don't be falling out all in court. The pimping don't be sitting over there crying. You know, you motherfuckers can say whatever the fuck you want to say about Sinful to P. But yeah, go look at my mother. Since y'all want to bring up that court video up all the time, go see if you see a nigga crying though. Yeah, that. Yeah, since you want to bring up that court video all the time, go see if you see a motherfucking 23-year-old nigga crying though. Matter of fact, I was 24 at that time. Yeah, go see if I'm crying though. As a matter of fact, she was like, how could you say that? You know what I mean? The continents of a whore. I said that shit again and the bitch got offended. I was offended because motherfuckers was calling me shit that I wasn't. And they wasn't bringing up the deception in court. I wasn't sitting over there crying like some bitch. You motherfuckers can say whatever the fuck you want to say. But whatever the consequences that my lifestyle bring, it is what the fuck it is. Oh, I don't like him. Oh, I think he's this. I think he's that. I bet you won't see. I bet you won't see this black man sit up there and bend and cry. I wasn't raised like that. You niggas is different. You got to maintain, you understand me, your manhood. You know what I mean? P, you said this. You said, yeah, nigga, I said it all that. Nigga, I stood up there and kept my head up. You understand me, to the end, nigga. Yeah, I wasn't crying. Yeah, go look at that shit again. Motherfuckers brought up other people's court dates and shit like that. I recently seen Dr. York's shit. Not, man, Dr. York was one of the coldest, if not the coldest teacher that really pretty much all live. That's what they won't bring up. But I got to keep it real. He looked defeated in court. That's what they don't want to talk about. He looked defeated in court. Dr. York looked like he had lost in court. He was defeated. He looked weak as hell. Seeing what you're talking about. Man, he looked like a bitch in court. You didn't see that with me. I hope they find the other court dates and shit like that so they can show you with my grandmother and 5 pastors and all that shit came up in court. Yeah, you ain't never seen me one time cry about shit. I'm used to that shit. I done sit up there, I done took some losses, nigga, and still maintain my joy. I was the perfect man for the job. So, nigga, Pete, what are you saying? Man, that a young pimp ain't never, no matter what you go through, you don't never let the world see you. You know what I mean? They can say whatever the fuck they want to say about you. Whatever the fuck they think. You don't allow the opinions of another man to have dominion, you know what I mean, over you. Who gives a fuck? Motherfuckers got iniquities, frailties, and insecurities and other capacities that they lacking in just like you. Why in the fuck would you waste your one existence sitting over there thinking about other motherfuckers that, you know what I mean, transgress just like you, do things contrary to that which is right just like you. You thinking about what this motherfucker think of you. You already mentally defeated. I care about what I care about. It's what I said. It's not what them niggas said. When them niggas die, there'll just be other niggas that die. They don't got no mark in game, the life. They ain't never influenced nobody. They don't have that. They don't have power of influence or none of that. They don't have the anointing on their life. They just some other niggas. And that's how I treat other niggas, like other niggas. So why in the fuck would you allow somebody to take away your joy? I'm speaking to those that's been lied on. Rumors has been spread about you. You facing mental persecution. You going through spiritual warfare. And you allowing individuals to take your joy. You emotionally reacting, but you not mentally responding with the game. You got to mentally respond with the game, man. In all situations. Because emotionally reacting just might cost you your life. Emotionally reacting just might cost you your pimping. So you got to always mentally respond with some pimping. You got to mentally respond with game. Oh man, I'm being lied on. Man, they spreading rumors on me. Man, a nigga that I took care of, that I was a blessing to. Man, this nigga a bitch ass nigga. Man, I done been through all of that. You got to pimp past all of that, P. That's not justification, you know what I mean, to lose your joy. Once you lose your joy in the game, you lost everything. That's your strength. Imagine being in a boxing fight and you don't have strength. Guess what happens if you don't have strength in that boxing fight? You get knocked the fuck out. If you're in a boxing match and you're going against a heavyweight contender such as lies and rumors, and you're going through a court case, or, you know what I mean, I'm even speaking to you squares right now. You know, you might be going through child support, or, you know what I mean, you might be going through a relationship that just turned into a battleship. You're going against a heavyweight contender. How the fuck you gonna win in this heavyweight bout without strength? I just told you that the joy of the game is your strength. If you don't got no strength, you about to get knocked the fuck out. You have to maintain your joy for the game. Can't be no depressed ass nigga. And I'm gonna sit up there and take it there. And you know what I mean? And it's coming. Some of you gonna leave me, but it's cool. More people will come in the future. But when I come back to YouTube, the way that I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna talk a lot of shit. Some of you will feel hurt, but it's the truth. I had to make sacrifices so I can become the message that I'm going to bring. But check this out. You know what I mean? A lot of you are putting depression in your body. You putting depression in your body. You putting drugs in your body. And sometimes I ain't even talking about narcotics. I'm talking about the food that you eat. That which you drink. You putting spirits of depression in your body. You are killing your joy. You don't like the pimp that you looking at in the mirror. You supposed to be a mental giant. Should nobody have to be encourage you? You know what I mean? Should nobody have to sit up there and say something to motivate you? You know what I mean? To lose weight? Not when you know pimp. Not when you a pimp. When you are a pimp, you should be able to encourage yourself, you know what I mean, to motivate yourself to lose whatever weight you got going on or get whatever body that you're endeavoring to get. You should be able to motivate yourself. What motherfucking motivational speaker is greater than the pimping? You're presiding over a woman. You're presiding over women. You have to be her example of what she should be. But see, the problem with a lot of pimps in the game, you doing a lot of preaching, you doing a lot of teaching, but you're not doing no reaching because your life is not on one accord with the things that you saying out of your mouth. There's no discipline. So because there's no discipline, you're angry at the bitch because she don't have no discipline. And that's backwards. You know what I mean? That's backwards. You sitting over there getting mad at the bitch because she's a bitch, but you want her to do a transformation, but she don't see no transformation with you. What have you said that has came to pass with your physical? Some of you told bitches that you was gonna lose weight. What happened? Some of you said that you was gonna stay in the gym. You went for a couple of weeks, or you might have went for a month or some months. What happened? What happened? You did not make it a lifestyle. Some of you lost weight, and then you gained the weight back because you didn't make it a lifestyle. You got to make it a lifestyle. When it's a lifestyle, you know what I mean, then when you lose that weight, the weight will stay off. Why? Because it's a lifestyle. But if it's just, you know what I mean, like, ooh, I'm just motivated for the time being. If it's just a feeling because something that somebody said to you or motivated you within the 2 seconds, like, ooh, I seen this video, or ooh, Sinful charged me up today. Ooh, I'm about to get on the right page. If you don't personally make it a lifestyle, you're going to stop working out. If you don't personally make it a lifestyle, you're going to stop reading. Let me get to the mind. Another reason why a lot of you, you know what I mean, are losing your strength or don't have strength because you do not eat. You don't eat mental food. That's why when you look at my Patreon, there's a balance. Many of you will see my format. Some of y'all probably already caught on. But a lot of times, most of the times in the morning, I always post something about health first. Before I get into anything else, before I post my content or this person's content, or before I bring something on comedy or something like that, most of the times, the first time in the morning, I'm always going to put information pertaining to health. I'm always going to tell you, you know what I mean, something about health. Some of you got cancer running in your family. And you in your middle 30s, you in your late 30s, you in your 40s, you in your 50s. You should not be putting what you putting in your body. You know what your mother died from. You know what your grandmother died from. Some of you know what your father died from. You know what your grandfather died from. You knew what your brother died from. You knew the causes that caused them to die. Why would you put that death in your body? Why would you put that destruction in your body? And some of you said that, man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And then when you fell victim, when you didn't fulfill what you said that you was gonna do, that spirit of depression came. You start feeling like a failure. So you couldn't manifest no joy because you was moving, you know what I mean, in the spirit of failure. Like, man, I said I was going to do this. I said I was going to read this amount. I said for the beginning because, and this is a good message. You know why? Because the month of September is coming. But you shouldn't wait for the month of September. You know what I mean? The time to always do the right thing is right now. It's a new month that's coming, but I don't want you to wait till the next month that's coming. The right time to do the right thing is always right now. That's what it is. Oh man, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna sit up there, you understand me? I'm gonna read, you know what I mean, this amount. I'm gonna read for an hour. Then after that, I'm gonna work out. Then, you know what I mean? You know, because winter time gonna be coming. So man, I'm gonna be outside. You know what I mean? I'm about to start getting my run on. You know what I mean? And then my nigga, man, he been telling me to come play basketball with him. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go play basketball, you know, with the homie. You know what I mean? That's gonna be some cardio right there. Then that month came, you ain't played no basketball, you ain't been reading, you ain't been working out, you ain't did none of that shit you said. And you know the sad part? Some of you said these things to your woman. You said these things to your women. And they heard you say what you was going to do. And even though that bitch might not said it to you, she heard you. And she also seen when it wasn't fulfilled. Did you hear me? Not only did she hear you say what you said out your mouth, but she seen that it was not fulfilled. And then some of you wonder why, you know, man, why is she giving a reply instead of a comply lately? I remember when I first knocked the bitch, how she just had that happy-go-lucky attitude, and you know what I mean? She was just so happy, like a Sarah from Starbucks. She was so happy. She was always wanted the hoe. I used to have to beg her to leave the blade. I would have to beg her to leave the carpet. I would have to beg her, you know what I mean? She always wanted to get my money. This bitch loved my pimping so much, you know what I mean? She used to stay down and get my money. Then after she do that, she gonna take a shower, and now she wanna go to the gym with me. You had that. Some of you had beautiful situations, but because you didn't pimp, you lost it. You lost it. To whom much is given, much is required. As a man, you know, no matter what lifestyle you live in, but I'm speaking to the men in my lifestyle, you are a leader. If you don't remember nothing else that I said, women will what? Glorify what you exemplify to them. If you exemplify laziness, if you exemplify ignorance, if you exemplify being fraudulent, guess what they getting ready to glorify to the world? She gonna be your reflection on that blade. She gonna be your reflection when she step outside. If your woman or your women constantly see you being disrespectful to people when you don't even have to, you cursing out, you know what I mean, the lady because she forgot to put a straw in the bag. You calling her a faggot ass bitch, you know what I mean, because she forgot to put that extra straw in the bag. You know what I mean? If these women constantly see you just being disrespectful all the time, then why you want to sit up there and go upside the bitch head, you know what I mean, when she nasty? The reason why she nasty is because she fucking with a nasty nigga. And I'm not talking about hygiene, I'm talking about attitude. She see you being disrespectful, so she conforms to the disrespect. And now when she talking the tricks, she's carrying that same spirit. She don't know how to talk to nobody. You use profanity all the time. And now she's doing what with the trick? Using profanity all the time. She shouldn't be doing this, but you got some broads in the game. They saying nigga this, and nigga that. Fuck this, bitch that. And they doing it in front of the trick. No professionalism. No professionalism. These women are exemplifying I mean, they glorifying what you exemplified to them. Some of you have no joy. Some of you are boring. So I completely understand why your women or your woman that you sending out the door, I understand why she's depressed all the time. I understand why she don't have no pep in her step. I understand why she's not a happy hoe. She ain't fucking with a happy pimp. I understand why she's an unhappy hoe, because she fucking with an unhappy ass nigga that's professing to be a pimp. Don't you understand that it's joy in pimping? It's joy in the game. I'm not talking about, someone, oh, that's a carnal, that's a worldly joy. Yeah, but it's still a joy. It's still a joy though. And when you depressed all the time, you mad all the time, you angry all the time, or, some of you guys just have no feelings. You have no emotions. You just dry. And some of you, I ain't got to call your name out, but some of my young P partners, I've had to cut you up because you're too dry. Your delivery is too dry. You're not on key with the game. P, what you saying? Let me teach you something. I can write a Grammy Award winning song, but until I have the right vocalist to convey that song vocally, until I have the right vocalist, to convey that song, it's not going to be a hit. It's just going to be some profound words on a piece of paper until I get the right vocalist to basically express the joy or the feeling of that song. If that person does not express the feeling of that song, the audience can't receive it. Why? Because it don't have no joy to it. It don't have no feeling to it. You're not on key with the game. Some of you are off key. Sometimes you may have, I give you an example. When Music Soul Child had that song Love, the women was in love with him. They loved that song. Music Soul Child was big when he had Love. But, I've been to some concerts and I heard Music Soul Child live, and I've also heard him sing backstage, and it's two different things. Because if you speak to him privately and he sing, it's way different than him being on stage. I don't know what's wrong with music, but this is a fact. The man can actually sing, but when he's on stage, I don't know if it's stage fright, he don't have it. He sings off key. And when you hear somebody singing off key, for those that love music, it's like, That's how it is with this game. Some of you are not pimping on key. She not hoeing on key with the game because you're not pimping on key. You're not on one accord with the game. It's just like, okay, imagine your preacher, your teacher, your motivational speaker, the pimping, saying the things that they say with no feeling. No matter how powerful those words are, if you don't have a powerful individual releasing those words, it'll just fall on dry ground because he's not expressing the feeling of those words. He's off key with the game. That's just like if you, imagine somebody talking about singing a song talking about, come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here, baby, let's lay down. 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 You gonna turn that shit. Why? Because he sound boring. He sound like he need to lay down and die. He sound like he need to dig a grave and die in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? But if you had a Teddy Pendergrass or you had a Marvin Gaye, or a David Ruffin, singing Hey Baby, it's different. Why? Because they're going to express the feeling of those words. The song is going to get a Grammy now. Women pussy gonna get wet. Why? Because now you have melodic voices. You have vocalists that know how to express the feelings of these words. Their delivery is on key with the game. It's on key with that song. Imagine Marvin Gaye singing I Want You lazy as fuck. Even though, Marvin would still sound good, but not if he's singing off key. A lot of you, when you're riding down on the blade, the reason why, you don't get a lot of women out of pocket because you're boring. Just imagine riding up and down the street. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You dig? Hey, I see you over there, girl. You know what I'm saying? You dig what I'm talking about? You underdig me? Yeah, choose life, No, you need to choose up with a pimp. I see you, Miss Yellow Dress. Yeah, yellow dress, you know what I'm saying? You need to give me that action and give me that transaction, you know what I mean? So we can get satisfaction, you know what I mean? In the game, you dig what I'm talking about? You done to dig me, you understand me? Bitch gonna keep on walking. Hey, take my number down. 702 800 94. You know what I'm saying? 73. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that balance. Appreciate that P. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I see you over there, red dress. I see you over there. Yeah. Imagine the upgrade. Just imagine the upgrade. Yeah. Fuck with some pimping. Yeah. You know what I mean? Bitch ain't gonna sit up there. You dry as a motherfucker, man. Some of you are dry. You are too dry to be the pimping. As one scripture even told the saints of God, we're lively stones. That's why you always seen the saints always praising God, because they was taught to be lively stones. In the days of my youth, you know what I mean? Man, I was happy to be, a black stone. Why? Because the older guys that I looked up to, no disrespect to the GDs, no disrespect to the BDs, no disrespect to the vice lords. But when you really been around some true black stones, all right? When you done been around some real moles, not them little gangbangers that y'all see hollering and screaming, you know what I mean, on Instagram. No, I'm talking about the polished, well-spoken, you know what I mean, infinite-minded black man. Because that's what I came across. As a youngster, I was just, I was in love, you know what I mean, with the mouthpieces. Oh, man, what's going on of them? Oh, man, I can't call it like a blind referee, man. What's going on with it, Five? Oh, man, you know what it is. Stone, run it. You know what I mean? What you about to get into? Oh, man, I'm about to sit up there, man, slide down, you know what I mean, and probably go to Lakeshore Drive. What's the demo with you? You know what I mean? What's the demo? Talk to me. Oh, man, we about to get into some old, I just, as a youngster, man, you know what I mean? All is well. Man, all is truly well. That's what I gravitated to. Now, yeah, all is well, Mo. All is truly well. That's the stones I come up around. This new shit that y'all see, you know what I mean? That's not what I was. No. I'm talking about niggas that was charismatic and magnetic, man. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers that when they spoke, you know what I mean? It made sense. Well spoken. Oh, little Mo, man, I see you be playing basketball because, when I was a shorty, I used to play basketball, you know what I mean, with a drug-free shirt on. Real talk. Sin used to come outside with drug-free T-shirts on, and I didn't think nothing was wrong with it, But, Beasley sat up there, man, and put me on to the... He like, man, you one of the stones, man. You can't be wearing that. You know what I mean? No, man, you know what I mean? Here, man, take this, man. You know what I mean? Stone love, you know? Showed me what that stone love is all about. Yeah, them dare shirts. Yeah, Sin used to be outside playing in alleys, hooping on crates with dare shirts. Facts. Facts. I'ma roast myself before any of my Chi-Town niggas get a chance to even roast me. You know what I mean? Yes. Before Beasley sat up there, you understand me, and showed me some stone love. You understand me? Seeing used to be outside in alleys, you know what I mean, grabbing rebounds and all of this shit with their t-shirts on, with jogging pants that was, you know? Yeah, man, my first Feli outfit, my first Carl Canai fit, all of that, you know what I mean? It came from Beasley. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying all that to say it was a joy with that. When I observed the representation in holiness, it was joy in that. When you know what I mean, I had an observation of the representation that I looked up to, you know what I mean, as the stones, it was a joy in that. You don't see no joy with I ain't gonna bash, but you don't see no joy with the replicas, of today. They all high. They look fucked up. They look dusty. They can't speak. You know what I mean? They're replicas. They're not a true Blackstone. Because if you really knew what that represented, you wouldn't even carry yourself like that. I've been wanting to speak on certain things, but of course, I got to keep my platform pimpish. But I see so much false information. I give you, and I'm going to speak on this later on today. But even with that, with Don Dirk, with his interview right now on Vlad, notice how Vlad keep trying to bring up shit and try to talk like he knows shit when all his shit come from the internet. See, that's what I keep telling you. It's just like with the Pimpin, same thing. A lot of the shit niggas be getting from the internet, and they jump on the internet talking like, you know what I mean, they was there. Like they really got real experiences and shit. And see, Vlad thought that he would be able to, you know what I mean, speak on the tribes, you know what I mean, because he done read some shit off the motherfucking internet. You know what I mean? And the real ones ain't drawing off of that. You know what I mean? Because why? You know what I mean? That's false information. But I'm going to keep it 100, though. I'm just going to sit up there and give you the real. The real would have left you in the dark, though. I'm not saying he ain't real. I'm just saying, though, most of the real gonna leave you in the dark. If you think 2 + 2 is 5, it is what it is, nigga. We ain't gonna bless you with this literature. You know what I mean? It was pride. Damn, man, I didn't even mean to do that. It was pride in literature. It was pride in knowing your lit and being able to speak it fluently and not catch a mouth shot, not get a violation. Because when a question was asked, when a lawman asks you something, you can speak it fluently and not with no speech impediment. It was joy in knowing law. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, let me be quiet. Go back to being the square ass YouTuber that I am. But ain't no joy in falsehood. Ain't no joy in lies. You know what I mean? But it's joy in being the truth and representing the truth in totality to the fullest. Whatever lifestyle that you in, you represent it to the fullest. You use your ability to the best of your ability, and like I always say, make it your responsibility on a daily, you know what I mean, to sit up there, you understand me, and represent. But we missing that. We missing that joy. Shit done got watered down on all sides of the street. Motherfuckers ain't informative representatives no more with joy. Whatever lifestyle you in, it's imperative that you be an informative representative of that which you represent. Why you gonna represent something you don't know about? Why you gonna represent something that you don't got joy in? If it don't bring you joy, leave it the fuck alone. Facts. Oh, P, man, I'm a square. I got a job. Hey, man, if it don't bring you joy to do that, if it don't profit you, why you involved? It ain't evolving into nothing. You know, but the reason why I feel, and see Rob Bass, he know what the fuck I'm talking about because he done been around me before I was in the game and before I was out, before I was in the game and even when I got in the game. He knew me when I was saved. He knew me when I was in holiness. Two different people. But once I got into the game, he know what it is with that. Always represented, you know what I mean? Whatever lifestyle that I'm in, I'm always going to represent to the fullest. Period. I'm always going to rep. Man, I done took, man, listen, man, everything wasn't a W. I done took some losses. Seeing, that I know on YouTube, everybody got to act like they won every fight and shit. But man, I done been jumped on. I didn't seeing they got some punkin' heads, you know what I mean, for being in the wrong territory and shit and not bagging down. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't going to disrespect what I was. You know what I mean? And I was coming in there. I was coming up in Parkway, which y'all know is O Block. And y'all think that's the toughest area in Chicago, you know, because of rap songs and all of that shit. You know, yeah, I was coming up in there by myself, nigga. Facts. You know what I mean? I was coming up in that Route 66 by myself, nigga. I was coming up to meet thoughts, bust downs off the party line by myself, nigga. You know? You know? But it was a joy in that. That's why I did that. You know? And just to take it back, you know what I mean, to this game that I never left, you know, all you got to do, if you ever want to get fired up about some pimping, whatever situation that you in right now, it go back to my message that I preached to y'all, talked to y'all years ago, because I said it. Because I said it. Whatever come out my mouth, it got to be fulfilled because I said it. So if you say that you gonna knock a bitch tonight, that's the fuck you gonna do because you said it. Yeah, I ain't coming back up in this motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? Until I sit up there and come with a brand new hoe. It got to be fulfilled because I said it. Yeah, yeah, I'm about to turn, if a nigga say I'm going to turn all this Instagram, Facebook, cut all this social media shit off and go right back to the pimping. Yeah, if I had a message right now, yeah, back to the basics, back to the pimping, man. All this social media shit, yeah, kill it, bow. Outside with it. Back to the concrete, in a bitch face. And if you want to sit up there and knock a bitch, sometimes, like I told you, that's what I got from spirituality that I brought into carnality, but it's still reality though. You know, the saints of God back in the day used to have shut-ins. And when the saints of God and holiness, they used to have shut-ins because before they had a shut-in, they would shut out everything that was unlike God. So seeing what you mean, what's a shut-in? A shut-in was when the saints of God used to come in the congregation and they would come in there already consecrated and they would pray and they would praise God all night, all day, all night, all day, sometimes for 2 days, 3 days. They would just be in there just praising and worshiping God. They would have shutouts. They wouldn't be looking at secular worldly movies. They're not listening to worldly songs. They're not trying to have worldly carnal conversations. Why? Because they're trying to get the more of God. They wanted the anointing of God. They want the revelations of God. They want edification from God's word. So they knew that they had to sacrifice to obtain, because they knew that God never sent down his fire on an empty altar. You have to make a sacrifice in order to get the fire of God. You have to make a sacrifice in order to get that anointing. And I'm telling you, that same mentality has to be applied even to the streets. You got to sit up there and shut out everything and anything that's contrary to this game. Motherfuckers that you know that ain't about nothing, ain't saying nothing, ain't bringing no type of uncommon information, no inspiration. They come to gossip. They come to talk about people instead of ideas. They ain't saying anything that's brilliant. They're not saying anything to make you think, anything thought-provoking. They're not saying anything about business, property, investments. They're not saying any new game, nothing. Don't stop answering the phone. Some of you are holeless and doleless right now. You shouldn't be just answering the phone for just anybody and everybody. You in a dangerous circumstance right now. Some of you, you know what I mean? You're on the verge of losing your car. You're on the verge of losing your place. What the fuck you look like answering the phone for motherfuckers that want to have a Wendy Williams show, a Tasha K show on your phone? You endeavoring to prosper. You endeavoring to knock. You endeavoring to take it to the next dimension. Why would you want to talk to a gossiper? Why would you want to talk to an individual that want to talk about individuals all day? That's not going to help you prosper in this game. After you sit up there and waste 60 minutes, 120 minutes, 180 minutes, 240 minutes, 300 minutes, infinity minutes, talking about nothing, guess what? After you hang up that phone, or after you get out that circle of losers, guess what? You still holeless and doleless. You still holeless and doleless around this motherfucker. The bills is still due, and these hoes has not still chose you. You need to fix your situation. You need to pimp up. You ain't got time to be standing around a whole bunch of niggas. You understand me? That's another thing that you niggas got fucked up. You niggas used to have that shit fucked up in Vegas and different other areas. You a see a nigga that's holeless and doleless, and he want to be around pimps that's 5 and 6 deep, chopping it up with them hours of night. You shouldn't be in a pimp circle, you know what I mean, waiting on a pimp to buy you a drink, and you chopping it up with pimps for hours upon hours upon hours every day, and bitches is just walking past, and you not saying a damn thing. I've seen this shit. And it hurts my pimp heart because I've seen no pimping ass motherfuckers have the audacity to put their mouth on me knowing the pimping that I've done. Nigga, I ain't never sit up there when I was motherfucking fucked up. I ain't never sit up there and ask you niggas for a goddamn thing. That's why I can talk like this, because ain't near nigga in the game other than my brother could ever say that he jugged me. When I was holeless and doleless, I called you. Can't none of these niggas sincerely, truthfully, honestly tell you that Sinful to P called me or basically asked or even took a jug that they even offered. Because I know these niggas don't even have the motherfucking integrity. They don't have the same character that I have. These niggas is just helping you just to be able to say that they helped you. Fuck that. I just wait on the game to bless me. You know what I mean? I won't even sit up there and, include myself in your little playlist. No, I don't want to be a part of your playlist. You know, you got niggas that got playlists in the game. You know, they think that makes them bigger than this pimp because when this pimp was fucked up and holeless and doleless, he sit up there and did what the fuck he was supposed to do. Let me speak on that too. You know what I mean? When you help a pimp that's in between bitches, that's temporarily fucked up, hey man, that's the fuck you were supposed to do. You know what I mean? Driving a pimp to the blade, that's the fuck you supposed to do. You know what I mean? Putting a pimp on the phone, you know what I mean, with a hoe, or sitting over there driving P, you know what I mean, right to that hoe. You know, that's the fuck you were supposed to do. Jugging a pimp, that's what the fuck you were supposed to do. Giving an encouraging word to a pimp, that's what you were supposed to do. As the scripture said in Romans, that's your reasonable service. You ain't did nothing, you know what I mean, that's above something to be talking about. That's your reasonable service to the game. So, in them circumstances, let me take that back. You know what I mean? Let me go back because I want to give clarity. Let me take it back. Let's rewind. If you holeless and doleless right now, you shouldn't be standing, with 5 and 6 pimps, at the bar that's doing better than you for hours upon hours every day. They sitting over there ordering drinks, talking shit. You know what I mean? And see, this is how I keep saying it, but they really don't hit y'all the way it's supposed to because you ain't the pimping. But this is when you really know that it ain't in a nigga. If every time we talk, and I can't even finish the conversation with you because I got to cut you off every 5 to 10 minutes because hoes is calling me. And you hear my money being checked. You hearing about watches being stolen. Motherfucking, you understand me, traps being checked. And every time, and every pimp keep doing this to you. They're like, oh, hold on, P. Hold on for a minute. Hello? And they keep doing this. And you keep seeing pimps answering the phone. They got to keep stopping the conversation with you because they sitting over there talking to different hoes every day. And you not provoked to get out that circle and go get in a bitch face. It ain't in it. It's not in him. If you can actually ride in the passenger side of another pimp's ride each and every day, and you got to wait on the pimp to be hungry in order for you to eat, and you have been doing this for months, you need to check yourself. Because you might be dead in this shit. Yeah. Anytime a pimp can, you know what I mean, you can't eat, you want to eat something, you know what I mean, you hungry, but you can't sit up there and put food in your mouth because you got to wake up to pee. You got to wait to pee, wake up. You got to wait to pee, you know what I mean, get hungry in order for you to eat. And you content with that? The reason why you content with that is because you ain't no pimp. That's why. You content with being on a pimp's couch or sleeping at a pimp's house or being on the passenger side of the ride. You content with the pimping giving you hundreds of dollars or whatever he gave you before y'all went into that nightclub or whatever. You content with the pimping taking care of you. And I'm here to tell you that the reason why you content and complacent in the pimping taking care of you is because you're not a pimp. That's why. You know what I mean? The reason why you're not moved to pimp, if that don't provoke you to pimp and get you a hoe or get you some hoes, watching this nigga break a hoe or break hoes in front of you, is because it's not in you. If you can watch a man break a bitch for a Breitling watch, break a bitch for a Rolex in your face, she done sat up there and gave this man a Frank Mueller right in front of your face, and that don't provoke you to stay down until you come up, it's because it ain't in you. It's not in you. Because something down on the inside should have charged you up when you seen that. When you was around pimps, you know what I mean, and you cool with waiting on the pimping, you know what I mean, to take you to breakfast and take you to lunch and take you to dinner, and nah. As much as I love one of my P partners, I ain't gonna say his name. I got love for him, still got love for him to this day. But the reason why pimps was running away from him in New Orleans is because every time the nigga would come around, he would be asking for something. He would be asking for something. And you know what's so cold? He had the coldest situation. He was staying in 5-star hotels because another P partner of mine was putting him in 5-star hotels. You know what I mean? Off the paper game. So you get to stay at 5-star hotels. You eating the best of room service. You getting suited and booted every night. You coming out in gaiters. And you did this shit. Man, he did this shit for almost 3 months. The pimpin' had you in 5-star hotel. Pimpin' set up there and had you in hotels in Metairie, Kenner, all up in New Orleans. Had you all up in hotels eating room service. You got a roof over your head for free. And damn near this shit went on for damn near 3 months and he ain't come up with one bitch. He didn't come up with one bitch. I'm giving you this story to tell you something. I'm about to show you something. He was comfortable riding with pimps, asking for jugs, receiving jugs, eating with pimps. He was comfortable with waiting on pimps till they got hungry to eat. He was comfortable doing this. And he was an older P that I still got love, for. But he had became comfortable depending on young pimps. You know what I mean? He had got too comfortable depending on young pimps, you know what I mean, to take him here and to take him there and to do this and do that. He got real comfortable until one day, me and my P partner, I say, hey man, cause I was in Charlotte at the time. I was living this one, you know what I mean, P was out living in Charlotte at the time. I'm in the South Park area. So I sit up there, I call the pimp and I say, hey man, what's going on with woo. He said, oh man, I still got him in New Orleans, man. You know what I mean? But he ain't came up with a bitch yet, man. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga got depressed, you know what I'm saying? And he did. I said, wait a minute, man. You tell me what? You talking about he depressed? What the fuck you mean he depressed, man? That nigga staying in the best of hotels, eating the best of foods, man. I was just in New Orleans, man. He was having a boss time, man. I came up all in his room. He had his gators all on the floor. You know what I mean? His gators lined up, suits was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? What he depressed about, man? What you talking about that nigga depressed? Depressed about what? He's like, man, I called him, man, top of the morning on Saturday. And I was like, man, you know what that Friday was like, man, in that Bourbon Street, baby. You know what I mean? What that Friday do for you, P? And the nigga said, man, his feet was hurting and he ain't go out Friday night. I said, what? He stayed in a hotel room, laying up in a hotel bed with all of them fine ass hoes, all of them white tourist girls and shit, walking up and down on Bourbon Street, nigga, on Friday night, and that nigga stayed in the room, you know what I mean, with his feet kicked up on a Friday night. That's what the fuck I said, P, man. That's what he did, man. I'm like, oh, hell no, man. I say, man, yeah, that nigga got too comfortable, man. You know, I was like, yeah, man, Nice the other day, man, told me, man, that, you know, he had to drop that nigga off, man. You know what I mean? Because, you know, he said that he, you know what I mean, I'm catch you later, P, because I met a bitch, you know, down in there in Metairie. I'm going to get ready to check her out. And the nigga asked me, can he roll with me? You know what I mean? And this is a little square bitch, man, I'm getting ready to check on and getting in front of and shit. And he talking about some, man, can he come with me? And I, you know, I just took it weird, man. I had to drop that old ass nigga off, man. I said, yeah, man, that's what Nice told me, man. You know what I'm saying? I said, look, man, this is what we should do. I said, yeah, man, we got to get that nigga out that New Orleans, man. He done got too comfortable, man. The food is too good. He done got too motherfucking relaxed. All the pimps know him. All the pimps is running away from him. He done became a motherfucking professional jug artist and shit. You know what I mean? Around that motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, you know what I mean? He was around Sneaky Pete, you know what I mean? Asking all the P's and shit for jugs and shit, man. You know what I mean? He done got way too comfortable, man. You know what I mean? Around that bitch, man. I say, send that nigga to Cali. Yeah, we're going to put him in that Cali, man. And this is what we're going to do. Whatever you give him, I'm going to double it. On my pimping, this is what I said. I said, whatever you give him, whatever amount of money that you give him, I will double it. And we're going to give him that for cash. And we're going to sit up there and pay for a hotel room on the blade. On the blade. And he going to have that room on the blade for 2 weeks. Get him out that New Orleans because he done got too comfortable there. Put him in that California. We gonna get a nigga some money, get him a hotel room for 2 weeks on the blade, and if the nigga don't come up after that, all we got is conversation for the nigga. You know what I mean? Because nigga ain't gonna sit up there and be breaking on this pimping. Shit. So we called the nigga, and we sit up there, you know what I mean, and give him, you know, exactly what it was gonna be. And he like, man, you know, man, just give me 1 more month, baby. You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I mean? Man, I'm about to head out of town, man. You know what I mean? Just 1 more month. I was like, man, if you ain't sit up there, man, you know what I mean? I got to give it to you like this. That's something. If you ain't caught a hoe by now, you ain't never gonna knock a bitch. Ooh, come on. If you ain't knocked a hoe by now, I done lost my voice. You ain't never gonna like, oh, ooh. Yeah. I know the difference. And everybody was laughing on the phone, but you know what I mean? That was so true, man. If you ain't knocked the hoe by now, if you ain't knocked the bitch by now, If you ain't got no joy, you know what I mean, by now, you know what I mean, man, you ain't gonna never have it, man. Leave this, leave this shit alone, man. So, after talking so much shit, you know what I mean, he like, all right, man, you got me, man, y'all got me. So, sent the nigga to California, man. You know what I mean? Sent P, you know what I mean, to Cali, man, and you know what I mean? He ended up coming up, you know what I mean, on a little bitch, you know what I'm saying? You know, he ended up sitting up there, you know what I mean, coming up on a little bitch for a little while, but the nigga couldn't hold on, you know what I mean, to a bitch, you know what I mean, longer than, you know what I mean, a Tyson fight in the 90s and shit, you know what I mean, within that 2 weeks. You know, he came across a little something because he knew the pressure was on. So, you know, now he outside trying to have him one, you know what I mean, because the pressure is on now. And so, you know, long story short, the 2 weeks was up. He still got a little money on him, you know what I mean, from the money we gave him. And, you know, now it's time for the killer to come in. Yeah, it's time for the killer to come in. Seeing what you mean? Yeah, that mean, you know, it's time for it was actually, it had been time, you know what I mean, but I had finally brought the sword. Yeah, it's time for the sword to come. Because it had damn near been 3 months in New Orleans. Then you go 2 weeks in Cali. You had a hotel room on the blade, you know what I mean, with money, and you still didn't, you know what I mean, catch something that's, you know, solid. But we ain't gonna go too in on you because at least you got to fly by night, you know, within the time. But yeah, man, it's time to grab that sword, man, and cut them up. So, you know what I mean, that killing, you know what I mean, just another word for chopping. Yes, in other words, it's time for seeing them preside over rebuking service. You know, because the nigga used to preside over his rebuking service for me, you know, when I was young in the game. So, yeah, you know, it's time to bring that sword. And that's why I say, if I'm wrong, you know what I mean, cut me, because I put it on everything. If I catch you out of bounds, I'm not going to spare you. Yeah, especially now. Yeah. You know, I done been through too much, and I allowed too much sucker-ass niggas, you know what I mean, to get it. No, especially now. You know what I mean? You getting cut up, chop suey. So, you know what I mean, we was sitting at the restaurant, man, and I told him, man, I say, hey, man, why don't I just get you a plane ticket, man, and just, you know, fly you back, you know what I mean, to your family. He said, P, what? I said, yeah, man, you know what I mean, you don't want to pimp no more, so shit. Nigga might as well sit up there, get you a plane ticket, give you a few more dollars, man, you know what I mean, help you get you a new job or something. You know, maybe you could become you know, a counselor at school or something and tell the kids, you know, not to be a pimp or, you know, not to, you know, participate, you know, in criminality and things like this. You know, how you done turned your life around and shit, baby. You know what I mean? Go ahead and, you know, go, you know, turn yourself in, go volunteer at school or something. But, hey, man, you can never do wrong. You can never do bad, you know what I mean, in your own city. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure your family will take care of you, man. P, man, what you saying, man? You saying, nigga, I ain't no pimp? You saying, nigga, that I ain't, you know what I mean? I was like, man, it look like you lost your joy with this shit, man. You know what I mean? On Friday nights, man, you laying in the bed, you know what I mean, with your feet kicked up, man, like you're a fucking billionaire and you 10 deep and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you done lost your joy with this shit, man. You don't want to pimp no more, man. So, yeah, man, go ahead and, you know, go to Church of God in Christ, man. Get you a Bible. You know what I mean? Maybe you might, you know, meet a nice girl from, you know, the country or something, you know what I mean? Get saved, get married, and get you a nice little job, man. You know what I mean? As a volunteer or something, man, you know, at school or something, man. You know, they always hire. Oh, man, you trying to be disrespectful. You being a disrespectful motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? I helped you in the game, nigga, when you was ignorant, nigga. And woo, he going off, right? I say, yeah, all of that's cool, man, but see, just like most old niggas, man, you keep talking about, you know what I mean, the old pavement, Old Testament days and shit, man, you know what I mean? But, hey, man, nigga can talk about all them glory days all he want, man, you know what I mean? But if you can't talk about your glory days, this is my main thing. This is why, which brings me to a point. I said, if you can't talk about your glory days and get fired up from it and get joy from it, if that don't charge you up to pimp, then give this shit up. I said, if them old memories, if it don't sit up there and remind you of your value, if it don't stir you to fuck up, if it don't provoke you to not, you understand me, a new bitch, then man, go get you a new job. Go get you a new wife. Go get involved in a new life, man. You know what I mean? If you can't actually think about your first trap, your first hoe, the first time you knocked a nigga, the first time you got knocked, your first car in the game, your first suit in the game, your first mink in the game, your first house in the game, your first time you went cross country. If these memories don't sit up there and stir you up, you ain't got nothing left. You done lost your joy. And we know, like I'm telling y'all today, the joy of the game is your strength. And once you lose that, man, you done lost your power, baby. Might as well leave it alone. It's like going to a boxing fight with no muscles, no agility. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna win? You know? So, yeah, man, you know what I mean? That fucked with him. That fucked with him right there. I said, if them memories meant anything to you, if your representation of the game meant anything, if them Hollywood days meant anything, if all of the circles that you've been in and the times you knocked this P and did, if it meant anything to you, we would see different results. Because them thoughts bring pimp results. Them type of thoughts right there bring results in the game. If them thoughts don't provoke, you know what I mean, pimp results, if them thoughts don't make you, provoke you, compel you, you understand me, to do some pimping, it's time to go get you a job. It's time for you to sit up there, man, and, become a motivational speaker or something, man. You know, it's time for you to start, giving your life to God or something, man. You know, man, that joy, it ain't there, man. You don't have it, And even though I hit him in the chest so hard, he respected it. And that's why we still cool to this day, because he one of the chosen few. He one of the few to actually, take a cutting from me, because many niggas talk that shit, but very few have been able to sit up there, you understand me, and take a chopping, a rebuking service from me and still be cool with me. Very few. Majority of them getting their feelings and get emotional like the bitch and blow up like the bitch. Start lying like the bitch. On the internet, lying like the bitch. Because they mad, because sin took off his belt and spanked them, with the game. They didn't know how to be a man. Like little boys, they got their ass whooped and ran away from home. Only a few, man. I done took a lot of choppings. I done had rebuking services on me. But, man, when I've given my rebuking services, very few been able to stand. Shout out to Freeze. He one of the few. You know what I mean? But most, man, they can't take it, man. They want to kill you now. They want to crip. They want to cuz you. They want to blood you. They want to, it's now it's on Larry. Now I'm a pedophile. Now I never was a pimp. And you know what I mean? Now it's this. Now a nigga, you understand me, that was like your idol, a nigga that was like your father, a nigga that was your counselor, a nigga that was like a pastor to you, a nigga that was like your big brother in the pimp game. Now I'm your rival now, because I'm your enemy now that I done told you about your motherfucking self. Man, there's so many little girls dressed up as men in this game, man. They sat up there, you understand me, and left their father, man. They left big bro. They left uncle, man. And I ain't even talking about young niggas. I'm talking about niggas older than me in their 40s, because I got a lot of little brothers that's in their 40s in the pimp game. They're my babies. Some of them married too. But I'm going to leave that alone, man. Yeah. Because, see, I can take a chopping. Yeah. Y'all seen it with that nigga. I had to show y'all that. Notice that I turned his volume all the way up. He got to say everything he wanted to say, and I shut the fuck up the whole time. I let him have his turn. But, when it come time for sin to have his turn, they just don't know how to take it. I could take you're a pedophile. You're not a pimp. You're not this. You're not a street nigga. You're not real. When you come back to the area, we gonna kill you. I didn't even tell y'all that. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna laugh y'all ass off. A nigga called me, this was less than 2 days ago. A motherfucker called me, say, yeah, I just was calling you, man, to let you know you got a $50,000 bounty on your head, nigga. You know what I mean? The moment you step foot in California ever again, nigga, you getting killed, nigga, off top. I said, well, damn, man, thanks for letting me know, man. And since I got that bounty on my head and since I'm going to get killed in Cali, man, at least allow me to enjoy my time in Canada, man. You know what I mean? Since I'm going to get killed in Cali. I said, damn, then that's fucked up. I can't come to Cali no more, man. I actually like it out there, man. Man, that's... I'm like, man, that's pretty fucked up, man. I can't come back to California no more. I actually liked it out there, man. God damn, man. Shit, man. Damn, man. Man, he's like, nigga, you can make all them jokes you want to make, nigga. You know what I mean? But nigga, when niggas see you, nigga, you know what I mean? They gonna charge you. I'm like, hey, man, you know what I mean? Do what you do, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, that's fucked up, man. Y'all gonna kill me, man. Like, damn, man. I actually like it. I like y'all food out there. I'm stupid as hell. He hung up on me out there. I'm like, well, at least allow me to eat at Tam's, man. You know what I mean? Tam's one of my favorite spots out there on Manchester and shit. Man, let me eat at Tam's one more time. What killed that man? Joy. Joy killed that man. Not me saying, oh, I'm from Chicago, and oh, I'm a bigger killer than you, and oh, when I see you, I'm gonna beat your ass, and you know what I mean? No, man. You know what I mean? Different spirits, different demons calls for different presentations. You know what I mean? So, I just gave him the joy, man. He gave me the $50,000 bounty on my head. You know what I mean? I just, man, you know what I mean? Damn, man, that's fucked up. I like coming out there, man. Damn, that's fucked up, man. Shit. But before I get killed, man, just allow me to enjoy my time, you know what I mean, out here in this Canada, man. You know? The Thames on Long Beach. Okay, so listen, if y'all listening, before y'all do what y'all do to me, man, suppose the Prince said the Thames on Long Beach. Okay, so before y'all do what y'all do, let me go to the Thames on Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we getting ready to fuck CN up. We getting ready to the motherfucking delete his ass. You know what I mean? But out of respect, for things he done in the game, you know what I mean? We gonna let the little nigga, you know what I mean, eat at Thames on Long Beach. You know what I mean? That'd be love. Whatever y'all do to me, man, just let me go to Thames on Long Beach first. You understand me? Yeah, let me go to Thames on Long Beach. Shout out to Thames on Long Beach, man. Yeah, you know? Hey, man, if y'all don't love me, man, I love me so much, man. You understand? I love me enough for me, man, you know? Yeah, but you got to maintain, you know what I mean, your joy in the game. Know how to laugh shit off. Know how to pimp past, motherfucker. You can't pimp past everything. You understand me? But certain things you should be able to pimp past, man. You know, it's just a joy. It's a joy that come about when you shine on a hater. Let me just speak on that for a minute. Somebody that's constantly hating on you, somebody that's lying on you, and just for them to see you to get bigger and stronger and more valuable and more, you understand me, powerful and have more profitable situations. That's why I don't block none of my haters on IG and Facebook. I don't block them. That's Keisha on the Sinful to Pimp page on Instagram. I don't got that page blocked. She be all up in my DM just talking. Do I block the bitch? No. I'm not gonna block you. I don't want to block. It's been YouTubers to reach out to me talking about seeing, you can get that channel destroyed. Seeing, look at all these videos, man, they got. You can get them videos taken down. Why in the fuck would I have the lying or the rumor videos, whatever negative video, why would I have them taken down? Why? I like that you thinking about me. I like that I reside in a small location of your mind. I don't want that to change. I don't like when you're not talking about me. You should be talking about the best definition of important. I wouldn't give a fuck whether it was positive or negative. Just the fact that you took time out your day, you're thinking about me. That let me know I'm winning right there. I'm not thinking about you, but you're thinking about me. You're not thinking about property and currency and pussy. And you're not thinking about none of those things. You're thinking about me. When you did this, you said that sinful, you are more important than money, women, all of that. I could be doing things to improve my health, my credit, but fuck all of that. You are more important than that. And I would have to agree with you. I am. I am more important than, your life. I am more important than whatever situation you got going on, hater. You should keep talking about me. I'm something to behold. The anointing of God is on my life. My ministry is too cold for you not to pay attention to. You should be talking about me, hater. You're my marketing team. You work better than hoes. You promote me better than hoes. Please don't stop. Matter of fact, you're not going hard enough. So, it's a joy of shining on a hater. It's a joy of when they thought that you was going to be stopped, when they thought that coming together and spreading lies. I remember one goofball that be claiming that he from my city, but he really from Vegas, but he be claiming he from Chicago. And I just remember when he was just acting so tough. He was acting so tough. Nigga was 133 pounds by the grace of God, just acting so tough. Nigga used to call me big bro. I was Allah to him. I was God in the flesh at one time to him. But then when the scandal had came out, just like most bitch ass niggas do, he looked at it as an opportunity, to get some clout. And that goofy ass nigga was on the Facebook talking about the government failed us and, we got to come together and we got to stop Sinful to P. We got to get his channel destroyed. If we see any of his hoes down on the blade, we got to stop them from working. He was talking some Mighty Joe Young shit. And I'm so glad that you didn't do none of them things that you talking about you was going to do on the outside, because that would have put me in a position to do something to you. And I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to have to pray for you and help you get to God. But if that's what you want, it is what it is. I don't even talk like that. But man, that's just a man thing. It ain't no gangster thing. But if you actually think that you're going to stop a man from eating and he just cool with that, he just gonna lay down. You just so much of a gangster. you niggas is so much of killers where a nigga just gonna be like, damn, he ain't letting me get no more money, man. Man, I can't eat no more, man. I can't. Damn, man. I guess I'ma just have to deal with it. Oh my God, man. If you actually believe that, man, you niggas is on some cold drugs. Some cold drugs. But yeah, man, I just, I had joy, in him finding out, that I was pimping on that hoe that he wanted. Yeah. I had joy in finding out that his feelings was hurt, when he found out how much the dedication bitch, was really on me. He was in his feelings about those that's in the game, those that know, they know, those that don't, they don't. But he was really in his feelings, man, about that little dedication bitch, man. And the cold thing about it is, that little dedication bitch, she ain't even no big hoe. But he was in his feelings about the shit because she was just so, in love and infatuated with Sinful to P. Everything out her mouth was Sinful to P, and he didn't like that shit. It was a bitch he used to fuck on that I got love for like a little sister. A lot of y'all know her in the comment section. Robin. So while his hoes would be at work, he would be free fucking and shit, on Robin. He didn't like that I knew about that shit. I wasn't gonna expose your shit on the internet, nigga. You ain't nobody to the game. I wasn't gonna tell nobody that. Who are you in the game? Nigga, you can die today. Nigga, about 2 or 3 people gonna talk about you in the game. Nigga, that's about it. Nigga, you ain't made your mark in life, the lifestyle, or nothing. You not known for pimping. You not known for nothing. Wasn't gonna talk about you. You know what I'm saying? But I could talk about this because Robin and I already put it out there. So I ain't, why you putting Robin business? She didn't already put it out there. I'm just confirming. And then when I seen, it brought joy to me to just see all the text messages that Robin was sending me that you was sending that bitch. I can't believe you still watching him. I can't believe you still support him. I can't believe you gave super chats. You know what I mean? He a pedophile. He did, man, that nigga ain't no pimp. You know what I mean? That nigga ain't this, man. You was doing all of that. And that bitch still, and one thing that she love, just like all these bitches love, when I'm talking to these bitches on some one-to-one, I don't never talk to these bitches about y'all. Yeah, Prince, yeah. Yeah, that nigga. Don't say his name, but yeah, that nigga. Yeah. The false flagger. The nigga that say that he BD from Chicago, but don't know BD's know him. Say that he BD from Parkway. Don't even know that, you know what I mean, I'm cool with BD's from Parkway and don't nobody know him. Yeah, that nigga. The Vegas nigga that be claiming Chicago. That nigga. The nigga that said that he wanted to beat Sinful up, you know what I mean, and was making all that loud ass noise when Freeze seen him. He screaming and hollering. He recording the conversation the whole motherfucking time. And the only excuse that the nigga had for not coming to Arizona, oh, I would come to Arizona to beat Sinful ass, but I got tickets. I got tickets. You niggas is some characters, man. You know, you some characters, man, but I promise you this. If you had to sit up there and put me in a situation where I would have showed up and showed out, I would have manifested every motherfucking demon inside, nigga, and made you niggas some examples. You know, because that's one thing you better know about Sinful to P. I don't think not one nigga in this game is more important than me. I'm the most important motherfucker in the game. And if I ever felt that any of you bitch ass niggas ever was gonna do anything as such as taking my life, nigga, you would have been got prayed for. I knew you niggas was just talking shit to get white bitches and little black bitches, little simple-minded bitches that was looking, you know, like you hard or you a gangster or something. I knew you niggas wasn't built like that. I just don't be talking like that on the internet. But nigga, I know niggas that's really like that. I'm not one of them though. You know, I'm a church boy. You know, seeing a church boy, man. I'm that church boy with two dimples. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got to worry about me. I ain't built like that, you know? I just want to pray for you. That's all. I just want to pray for you. But man, if I ever felt that any one of you bitch ass niggas was ever really plotting or really was about that, nigga, you think I would wait for one of you niggas to do something? Seriously, you got to know my mentality. You already know through my messages that I believe in heaven and hell. If you actually believe that I would allow one of you little meaningless ass wannabe gangbangers to actually think that you was going to counsel Sinful to P, knowing that my life is more important than you niggas. Nigga, I would have spent time in prison for the rest of my life for sitting over there counseling one of you bitch ass niggas for wanting to sit up there and get my business, you know, for some shit that happened in '08. You little mark ass niggas better sit the fuck down. You know what I mean? Talk that shit on Instagram and all that shit. That's what the fuck you better do. But you knew my address because Keisha put it out there and ain't none of you bitch ass niggas come through. Yeah, that. Yeah. Sister Clyde, she knew where I was. You know what I mean? She didn't come through either. Never called me, never came to see me. So all of that Pacoima Paru shit, you know, no disrespect to them. You know what I mean? I heard they really will with it. But hey, man, we ain't got no Parus and none of that shit in Chicago, man. I respect, you know what I mean, the West Coast. I love, it's like a second home. But nigga, like I said, if it ever had came to that, nigga, it would have been one. It would have been one. But with all of the lies and all of that shit that was going on, guess what Sin did? Kept them niggas unblocked. Because I wanted you to keep looking at me, seeing me. Some of my haters are listening now, and you just with gnashing of teeth, you listening to me. You're mad because you can't be me, and I love it. It's a joy in shining on your haters. Don't block your haters. Let them see you shine. That's more of a joy than blocking them. Just to know that you're watching me, you're hating me, you're crying, you're upset, you wish I was dead, and God just keep waking my handsome ass up. Another motherfucking day to pimp. Oh my God. You know, you don't think I should be here. You want me to die. You want to be mad. You go, oh my God, fuck sin. You know, fuck that nigga. He a bitch. He this, he that. And God just keep waking me up another day. Yeah. You know, shining on your bitch ass. Shining on your non-pimping ass. You know? And then it's a joy. Watch this. Sometimes, you niggas need to take heed. Sometimes you don't have to speak on the nigga. The game will speak for you. You don't, listen, just like the scripture said, the Lord will fight your battle. Do you know the game will fight your battles? The scripture says, if I justify myself, my own mouth will condemn me. Sometimes it's just good to be, you know what I mean, swift to listen. It's swift to, oh my God, slow to speak and swift to hear. You know what I mean? Swift to hear and slow to speak. That's what you're supposed to be right now. You're supposed to speak in the vernacular of silence. People, they lying. They said that sometimes, man, it's just good to just keep pimping. Let the pimping be the volume. Let your success be the volume. You know what I mean? It's not for you to go back and forth on the internet or even back and forth in person. Why even entertain the shit? Leave it alone. Sometimes in certain circumstances, it's just good to let the game fight for you. One nigga that was talking about me, and y'all know who I'm talking about, he's out now, and blessings to him. But before he had got locked up, y'all know him. You know what I mean? He was dissing me on the song with Rallo. You know what I mean? Dissing sin with Rallo. You know what I mean? Making jokes, pedophile jokes, calling me a pedophile, saying sin ain't this, sin ain't that. But not only did you catch a case, but you caught a case with a minor in it. And I understand that you was upset. Those that's on my $50 tier on Patreon, they have an outstanding understanding because I put everything out there. They seen when I put one video up with him riding around mad because, you know what I mean, Sin was talking about that time that he got his ass beat by a hoe in New Orleans. And then after he got his ass beat by a hoe in New Orleans, he was mad about the shit because Sin was clowning him. Because if anybody know that nigga business, it's sinful to pee. You know what I mean? I've known him since a young little pup. And these niggas be forgetting that I know what you did last summer, the summer before that, and the summer before that. You know what I mean? So when you was sitting over there, you know what I mean? I'm known for making a faggot mad. You was known for getting your ass beat by a fag. So, you know, when he caught the case with the minor in it, notice how silent that Texas crew was. That same little Houston crew, that same crew that was talking shit, once he called the case, notice, now see, I'm just showing you the jealousy. When that shit from now at that time when Keisha had brought that shit out, you know what I mean? Cause really all he did was bring confirmation of what I said. Cause anybody that know, Sinful spoke on my situation before Keisha even came with it. All Keisha did was give a visual of a video of what I was talking about. But if we put the dates together, Sinful P damn near spoke about the shit a year before Keisha had even came out with the court videos. So what did he expose? But anyway, when all that shit was going down, notice how all them niggas was talking shit. But then when that nigga called the case, they had to shut the fuck up because now you look stupid. You look dumb. And that just show you my character. Because the whole time while the nigga was incarcerated, his little bitch was coming to me asking for advice, all type of shit. But see, I never put that out there. You know what I'm saying? The whole time, I never went live on YouTube to talk about him. We don't talk about pimps and niggas, you know, why they incarcerated. We don't do that. That's contrary to character. We don't do that. So I couldn't say the things that I'm saying now because he was incarcerated. And we don't do that. When a motherfucker dead, incarcerated, they can't defend themselves. If he decide to step out there and jump out the window again, that's on him. I ain't saying nothing but the truth. I'm not bringing him down. I'm just showing you the joy that I had. Because many of you was jumping in and out of my inbox. P, man, he dissed you on this song with Rallo. Why Rallo let this happen? Man, that's sucker made, man. Rallo asked you to be on his album, and then he gonna let, you know what I mean, this nigga sit up there and diss you, P. Damn, why Silky Slim on that song? Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? But when that nigga caught the case, was the volume? Did you hear anything about it? No, none of them niggas said a goddamn thing. They only spoke on me because they was jealous. You think them niggas really give a fuck about kids, man? Seriously. You's a stupid motherfucker. You niggas don't give a damn about kids. And I'm not saying, you know, them in general. I'm just saying, even the YouTubers, you think they give a fuck about that little girl in Brother Polite's case? You's a stupid motherfucker. Motherfuckers don't give a damn about these kids, man. They just using Brother Polite to build up their platform and putting on their best Oscar award winning performance to gain subscribers and views off you simple-minded, gameless motherfuckers. That's about it. You know, motherfuckers don't give a fuck about that little girl or the bitch that allowed this ugly ass nigga to be around her little girl privately. She need her ass whooped. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all said. First thing I was like, so she let Brother Polite, peculiar, strange, demonic looking ass around her daughter by herself, and you allowed your daughter, your teenage daughter, to be around this grown looking ass man, grown man. I'll speak about all that later. I still haven't spoke on the situation because the reason why I didn't want to speak on it, because I seen all y'all jumping out the window. I don't like seeing not a bandwagon nigga. When you see damn near the whole world on something, it make me want to go the other way. So that's why you haven't seen me do no videos, mainly speaking on Brother Life, because all of them was jumping on the bandwagon to build their platform. They didn't the people that's done a video about that situation, what have they done for their community? What children have they spoken to? What charities have they donated to? And then I'm going to take it there. We just got to tell it like it is. Man, Brother Polite is one of the most intelligent minds that the conscious community has ever produced. You don't think them niggas is jealous of Brother Polite? I just call it like I see it. You don't think them motherfuckers envy Brother Polite? Like, push them bitches aside. You know what I mean? Like, the intelligence of this man, the memory of this man, the way that this man speaks. You know what I mean? You don't think they angry or jealous of the ministry that this man has? I'm not stupid. I know y'all don't genuinely care about kids. That's why it don't faze me when you be in the comment section twerking and pussy popping, lying on my name. I know you don't care about no kids. Majority of you niggas don't even take care of your own kids. The majority of these YouTubers that be talking shit about different situations, these niggas don't even take care of their own kids. You got YouTubers speaking about situations like that, and these niggas owe child support. How you gonna speak about a girl being molested? A girl being raped or anything, and you don't take care of your kids? Sir, you're not just part of the problem, you are the problem. Why is so much teenage prostitution and girls getting raped and all of this shit like that? You're not taking care of your kids. You're enabling situations like that. But see, they don't want to talk about that. They want to keep crying and bitching about the fucking root, about the fruit, but they don't want to go to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is you niggas don't want to be fathers. which leaves these little girls wondering and getting in circumstances and situations that they shouldn't have been in because they should have had a father to lace them, protect them from situations and predators, you understand me? But due to the fact you didn't want to be a father, this is what happened. This is the results of that. So you got niggas that's not even fathers to their kids putting on Oscar award performances on YouTube talking about, oh my God, this 14-year-old girl. And you got, and niggas ain't even taking care of their 10-year-old, their 11-year-old, their 12. It's just crazy. Hypocrisy. It's just hypocrisy. And women, y'all have to stop being suckers. Hold on, I'm gonna get back to my message, but let me sit up there and drop this. You got to get this game. You should be listening to this game above all of that shit, above that religious shit, above that subconscious shit that's disguised to be conscious shit. You should be listening to the game. Because you being a fucking sucker. Motherfuckers sitting over there acting like they care about kids. Can he show you a history of him doing anything that's beneficial for children? Can they show you any type of track record where they made sacrifices to protect the youth or to give or to equip the youth with knowledge and wisdom on how to protect themselves? Can they give you that other than them going live on YouTube, you know what I mean, getting super chats for sitting over there trying to minimize another individual that has allegations? Just got allegations at this time? Can they provide you with any history of being beneficial to children? If they can't do that, then hey, you might be impressed with that shit, but I don't want to hear that. Niggas is putting on their best Oscar award performance for super chats and melanated pussy. Come on, man. I just call it like I see it. Tricks sitting over there tricking tricks. That's the best way to put tricks, tricking tricks. That's the best way to put it. You need this game so you can smell the perfume of manipulation. You need this game so you can smell the cologne of manipulation from a mile away. So nobody won't be able to charm and disarm you. You need this game, But hey, I just had to spank y'all a little bit on that. But getting back to what I was saying, it's a joy in shining on a hater. It's a joy in being victorious and prosperous when they thought that what they were saying was going to be so cancerous that you was going to die. They thought that what they said was going to lead to your expiration, but all it did was lead to separation from you to them, which caused your elevation in life, in the lifestyle. Thank you. Thank you for showing me you a bitch ass nigga. Thank you for showing me that you're a liar. Thank you for showing me that you're a snitch. Thank you for showing me that you're a weak ass bitch. Thank you for showing me that you're a mama raised, mama's cooking, can't stand up, no principle having ass nigga. Thank you for showing me that, because the level that I'm getting ready to go to, I'm so glad that God separated me from your bitch ass, because I didn't want a bitch ass nigga being with me in this dimension. Thank you. Thank you for exposing yourself, you hoe ass nigga. Thank you. I have gratitude for the multitude of hoe ass niggas that expose they motherfucking self. Thank you, you bitch ass nigga. I wanted you guys to be with me when we elevated here. I would have loved for us to build a platform that could have been a blessing to the game. I would have loved for us to travel and be in different areas, suited and booted, representing the game. But thank you for showing me that you was weak. Thank you for trying to use me for clout, for trying to minimize and verbally crucify me to an audience that was only listening to you because you was talking about me. Thank you for exposing yourself, you bitch ass niggas. Thank you. Hold on, what DJ Khaled saying? Congratulations, you played yourself. Thank you. I appreciate the separation. There's a joy in knowing that I'm elevating and you're still the same. I've seen some of the individuals that I was around or used to talk to, and they look terrible. You look at their eyes, you can tell that they're not eating right, they're not drinking no water, their skin is terrible. They look old and beat up. You know what I mean? Some of them look like I would say 60, but some look like they're not even gonna see 55. They look like they're about to die. You look sad. You look fucked up. You know, I hate to say it, but it just seemed like everybody that, the game separated me from, man, these guys are looking bad. I seen one guy, he was talking like he had some money, and he had a $5,000 chain. He was still dressed like a teenager in high school, and he'd be talking about swag. Yeah, some guy, man, he's in his late 40s and shit, man. You know what I mean? He was wearing cheap jewelry and was just fronting like, like he was that dude. I was like, ooh. But blessings to that man. I hope he come up. But, there's a joy in seeing your credit rise. There's a joy in generating legal dollars off the game. There's a joy of producing hoes in the game. Let me speak on that. This is a joy that many of you won't be able to have because you make justification for not having it. I reminisce on the time that me and Rosebud had got into it, and I had posed a question, and I could just tell the character, and not just his character, but what type of pimp he was to even come back with that type of reaction instead of responding with the game. See, when you have really pimped, you should be able to have ex-students, not just recent students, because your now students, of course, if they with you now, of course, they're going to say that you this and that and that and this, because they with you right now, of course. That's just common sense. But notice that a lot of those so-called retired pimps or pimps of old, how many of them have women from the time that they have pimped to give confirmation of how their information has empowered their lives and still empowering their lives still to this day? Motherfuckers got mad when I said that. I said, well, to really make your book sell, if you really want to sell a book, I drop game like a motherfucker, but they didn't want to acknowledge it. They know I'm the shit. But I sat up there and I said, if you really want to sell a book, a movie, that's good that you're speaking, speaking about your stories and shit. And you got P partners that, oh yeah, I pimped with him. He was dead. But see, one thing I know about this game, it's the buddy system. It works in every lifestyle. I just gave you hoes some game. You should really be speaking in tongues and running around, the city right now, praising me as if I'm the Allah of the game. I really just dropped some cold game on you hoes and you didn't even know it. What that song say, you ain't even know it. I just gave you game, bitch, you ain't even know it. But I just gave you game because I just told you it's a buddy system in every walk of life, not just in the pimping. But you have those that will, yeah, man, I remember with pimping with P and woo, ooh, but let them niggas fall out. Let them niggas get into it. And now all of a sudden, man, Sinful ain't, man, no, man, fuck Sinful, man, he never was. Yeah. So ladies, don't fall for the buddy system. I'll talk about that in another video. That's a cold video right there. I'll leave that alone. I won't put too much into it. That's some other content. Touch somebody and say content. Game content. Okay, but if you really want to sell a book, a film, or whatever you're selling, it's better to have women that you actually pimped on to be able to speak on your so-called beautiful pimping. I said, go get the women that you pimped on. You said you had these women for 10 years, some for 20 years. So surely, after all that great time that you had them, surely, everybody ain't dead. Everybody, it should be at least one or a few of them that should be able to give testimonies, of how your game worked in their lives. And even if they not in the game no more, how they still utilizing your game, from day to day. You should be able to do that. And, of course, he got into his feelings, because you have to understand that, as much as the older pimps appear to be the embodiment of the game, you have to understand that once you haven't been active for a decade or decades, you can't just, get into a battle with an active pimp and think that you're going to kill shit when you've been a husband for 10 or 20 years. It don't work like that. That's like you used to be the champion or you used to box, but you haven't practiced boxing. You ain't stepped in that ring in 20 years, and now you about to get in the ring with an active boxer. You stupid. You know what I mean? You stupid. It don't work like that. So I dropped game. I said, why don't you, get a woman or some women from your past to give confirmation of your representation in the game. That'll sell your book better than you even selling it. Because if women could actually read or see a woman or women, that you presided over and they speak well of you, that'll even sell your book. That'll make your book more marketable. And you'll have a more profitable time off your book. But instead of him responding back with some pimping, with, some intellect, oh man, that's how this nigga ain't no pimping, man. Because, a real pimp you mash on a bitch so hard, after running her feet in the ground so hard and so tough, I pimped so cold, man, them hoes don't even want to talk to me no more. They don't even want to look my way. You know what I'm saying? When you really mashed on a bitch, she don't want to talk to you. And I said, man, if you don't save that square ass shit for these squares, and I know that to be a lie, not just from my own experience, not because of my own reputation, but I know that from Dre. I've been on the phone with Dre, and his ex-hoes. Let that minister to you. You know what I mean? I know that to be false. Because when you have been good to your women, and you have the women that you've taught have produced off your information, and they can, man, this is when you know that you really got some respect. When a bitch is married to somebody, or she's, in another lifestyle, but she still got so much respect for the game and the things that you taught her that made her evolve into the woman that she is today, that she takes a second away from that lifestyle or that marriage or that little relationship or whatever the fuck she's in, and she come back to the reality of this game and still testify and glorify, your pimping. Touch somebody and say, that's some good pimping. Touch somebody and say, that's some good game. And guess what? It's joy in pimping on a hoe and producing a real hoe, a real hoes in the game. It's a joy in having a bitch or bitches that can come on one accord to speak good about your pimping. It's joy within that. It's joy off of a bitch actually not only fulfilling your instructions when you was presiding over her, but for her to take that information and still utilize it in a different walk of life, and for her to call you and say, thank you. I appreciate you. Certain things that you said to me at that time, my comprehension wouldn't allow me to comprehend that at that time. But now, because of this circumstances that I'm in, now because of the position that I have, doing this and that and that and this, I now understand what you were saying at that time. I couldn't tell the forest from the trees at that time. But because of the game that you've blessed me with, I understand now. It's a joy within that. It's a joy within pimping. It's a joy. And I'm here to tell you that when you're going through a family member dying, when you're going through, niggas lying on you, talking about you, when you're going through getting knocked, when you're going through a hoe blowing up, when you're going through losing materialistic things, you might have to pawn your jewelry at the pawn shop you know what I mean, to pay for certain things. You know, when you going through, you know, calling certain people that you took care of, and now the same individuals that you taken care of, they can't give you a jug or don't want to give you a jug. You know what I mean? When you going through situations like that, I just want you to tap into everything that you've done in the game. I want you to think about, you know what I mean, when you first entered the game. You know, how you got through that situation, how you made it through that, how you made it through this, how you persevered, how you endured this, how you endured that. And I'm here to tell you that the same game that brought you through that situation is the same motherfucking game that's going to take you through this one. There's no situation in life that's so insurmountable that this game can't take you through it. The game is your strength. I had to remind you of that because it's going to be some times where, you know what I mean, you might get a little discouraged, and, you know what I mean, don't wait on somebody to encourage you. Don't wait on somebody to call you and pat you on your shoulder and shit like that. I want you to be able to pat your own self on the shoulder and keep on pimping. You got to remind yourself of this value. Because if you remind yourself of your value when you don't have, or you're not having your way, you won't devalue yourself by allowing people that should not be in your life to come. Oh, did you get that? Let me say that one more time. When you remember your value and you keep in mind of what your value is, when you're not having money, when you're not having hoes, when you're not having it your way, guess what? You will be the same person with the same principles, with the same standards, because you remember your value. You will maintain them same standards. And guess what I've taught you here? Standards protect you from snitches. Standards protect you from broke bitches. Standards protect you from sexually incurable diseases. Standards protect you from going to the graveyard. Yeah, it'll protect you from accelerating to your expiration date before the appointed time. Standards. So that's why it's imperative to remember your value, because if you remember how valuable you are, you won't just accept any and every little punk ass bitch that try to choose up with you. You will remember your caliber, the type of man that you are. The fact that you did this and I did that and I accomplished this in the game and I made this amount of money. I went from this to that and to this, and I'll be damned if I reduce myself by just accepting anything just because I don't have anything at this current time. When you remember your value and the type of man that you are, the standards that you have, you're not going to accept no bitch that snitched or told on somebody, but because you don't have a hoe at this time, or you got a piece of bitch, and this bitch that's on your line or trying to get on your line or in your inbox, you know what I mean, she's trying to choose up, but you know about her snitching on somebody you like or snitching on somebody you don't like. See, because when you're a man of character, you don't even want to be involved with a bitch that snitched on your enemy. Come on, somebody. How many know that shit that Snooki said that wasn't no game? Motherfuckers talking about, oh, he's a legend and that shit, man. Man, listen, man, that shit ain't gonna stand up against a real intellectual, a philosopher, a real motherfucker that's a scientist at this pimping. Niggas sit up there and say, you know, I was getting my enemy out the way, or whoever I considered to be an enemy, and woo woo. And the motherfucker that interviewed him never asked him to define the enemy. And even if he even defined it, he wasn't going to tell the truth in totality. Motherfucker might consider a nigga that knocked him for a bitch to be an enemy. See, that's why I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? A nigga that has character will not deal with a woman that snitched on his enemy. A nigga that's the truth won't deal with a woman that told a lie or the truth or some incriminating information on some representation of the game. No. A pimp could be holeless, doleless, walking on the highway, But he's going to continue to do it the game's way. That's why I said it's imperative to remind yourself of your value, the man that you are. A lot of you got into some new situations with new faces and caught new cases because you didn't remind yourself of your value. And by you forgetting how valuable you were, you allow abominable people, damnable people, you allowed, you understand me, people that should have never even been in your presence, that wasn't even worthy to smell a pimp's cologne, to come into your motherfucking life because you didn't remind yourself of who the fuck you are. So even if you don't got a hoe no more, you remember that you that nigga, that man, that pimp. You know what I'm saying? You just waiting on that new HOE to put the ing on your PIMP. Because you can't do no pimping without a hoe doing some hoeing. You know? But you still a pimp. You know what I mean? You don't lose, you know what I mean, your gift. You don't lose your credibility, your ministry, your ability, your information just because a hoe or some hoes blew up. No. But you just ain't doing no pimping till a hoe come and do some hoeing. A teacher still got the gift to teach. A preacher still got the gift to preach, whether people in that congregation, the students in that classroom or not. But they not doing no teaching or preaching until people in that congregation, until students come in that classroom. So just wait on the game to send you that hoe to sit up there and put that ing on your PIMPP. Don't let a snitch do it. Don't let a bitch, you understand me, that is a known faggot do it. Some of you have allowed the spirit of desperation. You've become so desperate where you allow bitches, you know what I mean, that are known faggots. She's a licensed fag. The bitch got a PhD in being a faggot cross country. But because you're fucked up, you allowed this handsome punk ass bitch to come in your motherfucking life. You better rebuke that shit with this game. You better sit up there and abstain and refrain from all faggot ass bitches and rebuke that motherfucking desperate ass shit. That desperate ass shit ain't got nothing to do with this pimping. You must remain in the spirit of flyness at all time. You must remain in the spirit of joy at all time. Don't lose the joy for your pimping. Don't lose the joy for this game. All right? You know what I'm saying? I hope that it was something that I said within this video that ministered to you. I hope that it was something that you got that was some encouragement for you to go to the pavement and stay in position until the game give you another hoe in possession, man. I really hope that you got something from this game today. I hope that you got some clarity. I hope that your misunderstanding turned into an outstanding understanding after listening to this game today. I hope that this game provoked you, you know what I mean, to share this on all platforms so somebody else can hear this game on today. You know, I hope that you sit up there and send this to a pimp, you know what I mean, that you know that's currently in between bitches and holus and dolus, or might just got a piece of a bitch. Because some of y'all done had a piece of a bitch, but you ain't never had a piece of a bitch. She just the bitch is barely 25% of a bitch by the grace of God. She's just 25%. You know? Hopefully, man, that'll give you some encouragement, man, and make up your mind to say, I'm going to knock a hoe tonight. Not tomorrow, not next week. I'm going to knock a hoe tonight, and I'm not coming back until I come back with that new hoe or them new hoes. I am going to knock a hoe tonight. As a pimp thinketh, so is he. I'm going to knock a hoe tonight. I'm not coming back up in this motherfucker holus and dolus. I'm going to knock a hoe tonight. It's Friday night. It's prime time. I'm about to turn on this motherfucking sugar free. I'm about to sit up there, you understand me, and get in this mirror, line myself up. You understand me? Put in this sporting wave, or you might be using Murray's, or you might need to get your hair braided or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Go in that closet, get something fly. You know what I mean? To go in that suitcase, pull something, fly out. My next hoe is outside. My next bitch that's getting ready to give me a run is outside. My next run is outside. So that's where I'm getting ready to be. Outside. You know what I mean? My next hoe is coming. You know what I mean? It's coming. So you have to speak that into existence believe it, and just in case if it don't happen, it's still gonna happen. You know what I mean? Maintain your joy. Speak it into existence. Call them things which be not as though they were. And move in power, move in faith, move in joy of the game. Go to a new city. You might be in that city that you're in a little bit too long. The game might be calling you to get out of that Vegas. Might be telling you to get on the highway and go to that California. The game might be calling you to sit up there and go to Seattle or Arizona, or go to that Houston right now. The game might be calling you to come through that Dallas. The game might be calling you to sit up there and go see that beautiful fine ass square blind. She's up in that Iowa right now. You know, it might be a motherfucking fine ass square white bitch right now, fine as she want to be, and she working at Starbucks right now, and the bitch sitting over there in Apple Valley in Minnesota. Get on that highway, pimp. Some of you are holers, but you not dolers. So you got the money to pay for the gas to get on that highway, man. Get up in that pimp vehicle, man. Get up in that pimp machine. Get on that highway, or get on sit up there and go to cheapticket.com or Priceline and sit up there and start looking up flights, start looking up rooms, you know what I mean? And say, you know what? I better get out here and pimp, man. I ain't got time to be doing no sleeping. It's about to be cold outside real soon. Let me slide out to that Midwest. Let me slide out to that East Coast, you know what I mean? And go sit up there and knock, man. Let me get out my comfort zone with this pimping, man. I've been on this West Coast a little bit too long. The sunshine feel good, but let me sit up there and slide through that Midwest, or come through pimping through that East Coast, man, and sit up there and go knock me a beautiful, fine, attractive square that ain't never sit up there and been tainted with nobody's cancerous bullshit that they call pimping. Let me come through that motherfucker, man. Yeah. Let me sit up there, man, and come through that, you understand me, Ohio, and see what Ohio got for me. Let me slide through that boring-ass Cincinnati and see if it's a bitch that's just tired of being in that boring-ass Cincinnati that gonna like my handsome, fine, attractive ass and see these white teeth, you know what I mean, and smell this cologne and these manicured nails and shit. Yeah, let me go ahead and slide through that Ohio and see what the fuck it got for a pimp, though. Yeah. You know, let me see what this Indiana got for me, man. Might got something for a pimp, man. Let me come through here. You know? Yeah, let me slide and come through this Illinois, man. You know, I know they be talking about Chicago, but I heard the whole Illinois is a gold mine, man. Let me slide through this Troy and see if it got a hope for me up in this Troy. Let me come up in this Naperville and see if they got something for me up in this Naperville, man, this Springfield, man. Let me see if they got something for me in this Elk Grove, you dig? Yeah. Yeah, man, it's time to pimp. You don't got no time to be feeling sorry for yourself and looking a damn fool, crying, and, you know what I mean, being like, you know what I mean, a Christian or one of these little Baptist folk. I'm wishing on a star. You know, not wishing on, pimping ain't wishing on the star. Pimping out there, you know what I mean, making it happen, man. Yeah. And let me say this before I leave. Yeah, that bitch that been saying that she gonna do this and do that and do that and do this. Yeah, man, until she do it, man, don't talk to her not a damn motherfucking time, man. You been talking to that bitch a little bit too long, you know, man, for that bitch not to make a reunion with Western Union or sit up there, you understand me, and go, you know what I mean, to motherfucking Cash App, you know what I mean, take your account number and send it to Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Yeah, man, you been talking to her a little bit too long. That's why she comfortable in talking to you and not paying you. But yeah, man, I hope y'all got something, man. Yeah, y'all should really be hitting the likes around this motherfucker, man, around here. You should really be sharing this game. But I love you guys. I hope you live as long as you want. Never want as long as you live. I love you. I hope you get fired up. I hope you go knock you a hoe today. And if you go knock you a hoe today, if you go knock you a hoe this weekend, when you do it, because you're going to do it, because the pimping can never be, you understand me, denied. We can only be delayed. When you knock that hoe, sit up there, man, and text me or call me and give me a glorious, prosperous testimony in the game, man. Love you guys. Hope you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live.